Thank you very much. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. We are literally coming to the end of day 4, week 2. Okay, fantastic. So I think I have a bit of good news. And that good news is that because Ola came late, Ola will be buying us all lunch. Banana. No, let's leave it off. Yeah, actually put it on there, please. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah. So yes. So please put your order in with Ola. Okay. In advance for next week, Hassan, I don't know how you want to do it, but it looks like from next week on Saturday's class or in Saturday's class, or rather after Saturday's class, because usually what I like to do is after the session, we like to go out for a meal with the guys after the class, the whole training. Before I throw you into the real world, we like to go for a meal. So
before you throw me, particularly take time. See, I'm like,
I'll look at my schedule and see if I can make it.
So make it for Saturday. We would go on Sunday, but obviously John would not be here on Sunday, so it'll be easier if everybody goes on Saturday. So Saturday after class, we'll be going to have our dinner together. So hopefully we'll use it to break for those of us that are fasting as well.
Huh? On whose budget?
On whose budget? Why?
Did you hear what he said? He said after every class that he does that. He's always that's the hint there. That's what he said. Okay.
You are doing well.
Thank you very, very
So no problem. Yeah, so we'll do that next week. Okay. So Hassan, if you can make it for the class, not the dinner, just come to the class first and then we'll do dinner.
Is it buffet?
It's not buffet, don't worry. It's not buffet, you know. Okay. Cool. So let's just do a quick recap. What did we cover yesterday? How are we all feeling? I know you guys did meet up again last night, which is good. I would still like to encourage you to keep doing that. Use it to ask yourself questions. Personally, I learn by teaching, and that might sound funny, but I know while I'm teaching, if you ask me something that I can't answer, it means I'm about to learn it. So, you know, do the same with yourselves, jump on sessions together and just, you know, use that time. All right? Fantastical. Any questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you want to go over? Anything that Hassan, can you be on mute, please? Anything that kind of kept you up late at night? And thank you for not calling me late at night, but anything.
Somebody did. Please, what time? I didn't call him. He didn't call. Okay. You said I should drop him a message.
No, drop me a message. I think I was in the gym or something. I can't remember.
What time is too late to call you, please?
What time is too late to call me?
Son is a workaholic. You call him 3 o'clock.
You can call me anytime. Don't worry. If I'm available, I'll pick up.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Because of that yesterday, we were confused.
No.
Yeah.
It's fine. So you said you were confused yesterday. So what was the confusion? Have we cleared it?
Can you share this? Oh, thanks. Share it.
Me on your sheet?
Yeah.
Try and send me your sheet. Are you?
I send you the link.
Yeah. Let's try that first. Let's try that. Whilst we do that, let me see. So yesterday, as for project planning, we covered off, or we used the Salford Royal Hospital as our example. Okay. We talked about the importance of a pilot or proof of concept, depending on how you want to, you know, the term you want to use. The reason why we were using a pilot there was to understand how long it would take us to deploy a room, if you remember. So that meant, you know, how much time would be needed for the beds, the TVs, the technology, you know, on a per room basis. Off the back of that, we were able to work out how long we estimate the whole project would actually take us. All right, but that was a pilot, that was PLC. We did some number crunching. We talked about the relationships.
Is that pilots and PLC then?
Yeah, so proof of concept.
Okay.
Yeah, so proof of concept, pilots, you know. So a pilot is just something that you try out to see what it's going to be like. Likewise, a proof of concept. You know, you want to know, okay, is this thing going to actually work? Yeah, you have something in your head.
Yeah.
This is the benefit of it, because if you're online, I can't see your face, but yeah. What's on your mind?
So just going from a live previous experience, POC, when a solution architect has a solution,
yes.
And he drafts out, you know, how I can't remember what it was that we needed. Oh, sorry, documents needed password. Password to be locked and safe for and access for a couple of shareholders.
Yeah.
So
that was the solution that they wanted to build.
Yes.
Yeah.
The issue was ensuring that documents are accessed via WhatsApp to whatever by certain shareholders or certain staff members.
Yeah, right.
So
stakeholders.
Stakeholders. Sorry.
Yeah.
Solution architect had to think of some, how that can be possible.
To do it. Yeah.
And then he said to me, this is where the word POC kept on.
Yes.
Coming up.
Yeah.
POC.
Proof of concept. Yeah.
So you're saying that it's like a trial of different.
More or less, it's like a dummy demo, just to be like, oh, this is how this is going to work. You understand? So it's something you would do. In this case, POC is you want to prove that concept, proof of concept. Yeah. You want to prove that concept that is this actually going to work, right? So you do that without actually going into full developments.
Right.
You understand? Yeah. Without spending. So a POC might take you 2 weeks against it taking you, let's say, 3 months of actually doing the whole thing.
Right.
So with your POC, you're just doing that to see that, okay, yeah, this is something that is going to work, you know. And
is that the plan? You're saying this is going to be done at the planning stage?
Well, it's not like it's done at the planning stage. It just depends on what it is that you're doing. So yes, you could easily do a POC in planning or even in initiation. So know that, okay, let's do a POC first, so that we know that, okay, we're not going to spend too much in actually building the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like as if I wanted, okay, let's go back to food. You want to order at my restaurant. You understand? You've never seen me before. You don't even know if I have good food. You are not going to order everything on the menu. What are you going to do?
Maybe one.
At most, you probably even say, oh, can I have a taste that? Can I taste your jollof? Just to know, you understand? That way you will know that, okay, it's sweet or it's no sweet. You understand? Now, if it's good, then take my money. But if it's not good, I don't like the taste of that, or maybe there's too much salt, or maybe there's this, or maybe there's that. So that's how you would.
And then it's testing, because in my situation, I have to test what the solution architect, and he sent it to the stakeholders to test to see and get approval. And if they give a thumbs up, then we roll out the ticket. If not, we try another.
Exactly. So you're doing that because you don't want to go too far in. You understand? Called me literally this time yesterday, and I was in class as well. Yes. So.
Well, can you have what's it called? Is that only done if that solution has never been tried out? Because if it has been tried out before, all you need to do is look at documentation or whatever.
If it's been done before, again, let's go back. Assuming you've been to my restaurant before and you know my food is good, you're not going to hesitate to order.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're like, ooh, I've never been here before, but let me just try this, try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that. Be like, oh, okay, this place is not bad. I can go back there again. So again, bringing it back to products, right? Again, yes, if we have already done that before, right, and we know it works, we literally do it again. We don't need to prove anything, you know. It's like now, for example, let me come back into the infrastructure world. Everybody knows of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, right? To build that was an absolute, I would just say, any word short of a nightmare. And the reason was because nobody had built something to that level before. So that meant they faced a different level of challenges that had never been faced before. You understand my point? Now, one of the challenges was the wind. Because the higher up you go, the wind is crazy up there, right? So they were like, this building is going to fall over because of the wind. They now need to basically re-engineer or go through engineering processes to find a solution to that problem, which they did. And that's why it's still standing till today. Now, going forward, let's say somebody else said, oh, we want to build our own. The best way to do it is you go and find those people that built that, bring them in and say, oh yeah, go. Replicate that. Now, if it's going to be like for like, there's going to be a high chance of success because we know it had been done before. But if you're now like, oh yeah, we see what you did for the Burj Khalifa, but we want you to build ours the same way, but put another 20 floors on top. That now brings you to a realm of a totally different environment again, because you're going to face different challenges. You will face different challenges naturally anyway, because the environment is not the same. That's why I gave you an example that even if you were building houses, I'm the construction company, you understand? I'm building houses in an estate. I'm building houses on the left of the estate. I'm building houses on the right of the estate. Even if I have the same number of resources assigned to each part of the estate, they will come up at different times and they will be developed at different pace. Why? The why in that sense is because anything can happen here, anything can happen here. Now, when I say anything, majority of the time, people are involved. So all it takes is for, on this side, the carpenter doesn't come one day. You understand? That one day would slow down the project. It could impact the project. Depending on what we are dependent on, if I'm making sense, that's what will tell us that, okay, that will slow this one down. Again, maybe on the right side, we've got a resource that is, shit hot, like back, every day. Is a bricklayer, he can do 100 bricks per hour. You understand? So there's different variables. But to bring it back, POC, proof of concept, is something that we do. So again, in a software-based environment, in an agile world, right, the same thing you would do. You would develop what is called the MVP. Are you guys familiar with that? Okay, MVP, if we don't have it here, we should. MVP is minimum viable product. Minimum viable product.
Only apply during for software development.
Well, yes, realistically, because you can't really do an MVP for a house. You understand? Because it's a solid structure. But with an application, with a system, the software, yes, you can do an MVP, right? And what that means is, assuming, let's say now, what app do you use the most on your phone?
Facebook.
Facebook, fantastic. And Facebook is a wonderful example, and I'll tell you why. When did you start using Facebook?
Now, probably 2005.
2005. That's probably when it came out.
Probably, I'll say.
Thereabouts.
I wouldn't say.
But you had an account on there.
I had an account.
Fine. That's like 20 plus years, right? I think that's when it came out, because I jumped on it maybe 2007, and I was late already, right? I think so. Now, my point is this. Think of it this way. Assuming if by any magical power that is out there, Mark Zuckerberg had the opportunity to see himself from where he was in 2000, basically, and he had that power to see into the future and see 25 years, 20 years down the line, and he now saw the Facebook of today, right? Do you think he would have carried on building? Do you think he would have, what do you think would have happened? What do you think would have happened? I'll tell you, what he would have wanted to do was build the Facebook that he saw in the future. But that's not possible because the future only exists because we've gone through the past. Are you following me, right? So as an MVP, it's about creating the minimum viable product, which means even if we want this application, this system, this software to do 1,001 things, we only want it to do 10 things right now. That's our MVP. So what are the 10 core things that it must be able to do right now to get us to go live so that we can start, getting the product out there? Yeah. A lot of products, realistically, if you look at it, Instagram, all the rest of them, they have developed over time. Right? They have developed over time. It wasn't a case of somebody just said, here you go, here you go, here you go. They've watched how people are using it. It's like, oh, okay, maybe we should allow people to be able to comment on a post. Right? And this is the thought process. Oh, yeah, sure. Comment on a post. Okay, good. Oh, we can notice that people they're atting each other on a post. So they're getting each other's attention on a post. Oh, okay. Maybe we should have a DM feature where people can message each other directly, or they can share the post to each other's inboxes directly. You understand? Now they've done it where you can pin your comments not on the comment section, but on the actual screen of it. So it's just developing over time. So with the MVP, it's really about, like I said, what is the least things that we need from this product to get it to the market?
Is it like iPhone, how they bring on new products every time, iPhone 16, or is it 16 or is it 17 they've got now? I don't know.
It's 16.
Yeah, they obey just to...
Well, not as such, because that's more of a marketing thing.
Right,
You understand?
so
Yeah, that's a bit different. But it's like me telling you now, okay, let's use the project as an example. This project tracker, okay, which is what you guys are going to work on. Yeah, fantastic. No, I don't do easy. I don't do easy. There is no room for easy. There is no room for easy. Exactly. Buhari is my uncle. People chop this thing.
Could I say to me, no.
That one we get past. I'm joking. Please, though. Nigerian government, I hear you. I want to work for you. Bring me in. Okay. So, taking your project tracker as an example, right? Again, we can sit there and say, okay, what are all the things we want this project to be able to do, right? What are all the things that we think this project should be able to do? And let's say, for lack of a better word, or rather, for simplicity's sake, we get to the point where we then say, all right, you know what? We've looked at it and we've said we have 50 requirements of this project. Yeah? We have 50 things that we want this project to be able to do. Now, again, are we going to build all 50 and then take it to market? The problem with doing that is, one, consider the time it would take to build all 50, right? Now, again, remember this, businesses don't do things for fun. So if we are able to get this product out to market, right? So when I say out to market, if we wanted to get it to the point where people are using it and they're paying us for it, we want to get there as soon as possible. Okay, that's external. Internal, even if it's going to be a product that we are going to use ourselves, the same thing applies. You understand? So if we know that, okay, remember what I said about every project. Every project will have its driver. There's a reason why we're doing something, right? So this here, if I didn't give you the backstory, which is one of the reasons why we actually need the project, is because one of the tools that we currently use, we want to be charging £6,000 a year. You understand? So imagine that now. When you now sit down and do the cost benefit analysis, be like, okay, how long are we going to be using this product for? You understand? How much is it going to cost us to keep running this product? So as a business, you're already thinking like, okay, well, in that case, for argument's sake, let's get our own products. but the time it will take to get to 50 is going to be quite long.
So do you say you really it is in that 15, it will be released in phases?
Exactly.
Or
Yes.
not?
But those phases, that first one you do, that's your MVP. That's your MVP. It's not like phase 1 or whatever, but it really is your MVP. Yeah, because that after that 50, you will then you're going to use an approach called Moscow, right? And I'll come to that in a second. But you're going to use an approach and you're going to tell yourself, okay, out of that 50, 10 is what we need right now. 10 is what we need right now to allow us to see benefit, to allow us to see impact. The must-haves, right? And is that 10, we start building, we start working on. The 40, we'll put them in the backlog. We will come to them at a later date. But that 10 is what we do.
So just going back to POC.
Yes.
You said is it estimate time? Or is it to say how long it takes to do it? But in terms of because it's done in a short period of time.
Yeah.
It would not really capture, wouldn't really capture the cost and the actual time.
Maybe not fully, but it's more so proving that it can work, it can be done.
Okay.
Do you understand? The time, the effort, the cost is a different story.
Right.
We just want to prove that this can be done. So likewise, you're coming to my restaurant. Again, you can just take your wallet out and say, hey, that's my wallet. Give me everything. You can say, give me everything. But you're right, you wouldn't. You say, okay, I've come to OJ's kitchen. Let me see. What's the best food? How many of us go to a restaurant and say, oh, what's the best dish? What's the best thing? You ask the waiter, what's the best dish? What is good here? You understand? So you're doing that so that at least you get a proof of, that's when they tell you that the proof is in the pudding. Before you go and buy the whole everything. So that's that. But again, just to keep in track with that, we're talking about Moscow. Yeah. So Moscow, I think Sonia, you're gonna be silent for a second because I know you know this. So Hassan and Ola, what do we know as Moscow? First of all, let me write it for you. It's M-O-S-C-O M-O-S-C-O Moscow, right? M-O-S-C-O-W.
Russia.
In Russia, okay, fine, yeah. I'll take that. It's a good start.
I was about to say that, but I think it's Moscow. I think it's must have,
Yeah.
could have, must have, should have, could have, and would have. No.
Along those lines, yeah. Along those lines. All right. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our 50 requirements and we're going to ask ourselves, okay, which ones must we have? Right? Which ones should we have? Could we have? Do we want to have? All those kind of stuff. You just kind of go through that criteria. Now, even though you end up from your 50 and then you now get to, let's say, 20 again, that you must have. Now, there's another level we need to take it to decide on which one of that 20 we're actually going to do. Because again, what we're wanting to do is we want to get this product to market ASAP. Yeah. So Sonia, you actually mentioned something which is now making me think. You talked about, oh, is this what iPhone do? You understand? And I think it's kind of a valid point, or semi-valid to an extent, because I'm now linking it to Tesla, the cars, right? So I'll tell you why. Tesla's said, listen, get the car out there. Yeah? Because they had a way to update the vehicle as time went on. Does that make sense? Not physical update, they call it over the air, OTA. So they can send updates to the vehicle. And what they have done is they had already put in everything from a capacity or capability perspective that needed to be done physically. They had already placed it within the vehicle. So all it meant was, oh, they will now be in the back room. They will now bring out a new feature. They will code it, everything. It's okay, fantastic. We've tested it. It works. Oh yeah, push it to all the users. They will now push it over the air. All the cars will sit there. The cars will download, the same way your phone does. The cars will download the latest updates. And that latest update could be, oh, the car can now drive itself. You understand? But the point is, if they sat down and said, oh, we're going to build a car. This car can do 50 things. All these 50 things, we're going to build them first. Now, let's go. They will never get to market.
Yeah, and they could be losing revenue because if someone else.
It's not
releases
could
that
be,
same-
they are.
Yeah.
They will be. Right now, they're one of the world's most valuable vehicle makers or technology companies, because that's really what they are, right? The most valuable. Yeah. So again, that's where that proof of concept and that ideology comes in. Get it out there. Once it's out there, fine. You understand? We can keep fine-tuning it, fine-tuning it, fine-tuning it. So when you're working on your project, it's the same thing. You know, you just keep fine-tuning it to get to that point that, okay, yes, this is exactly what we want. And again, it doesn't stop there because it's software, because it's a system, it's ongoing. You understand? If a business stop updating their software, they expect to go out of business, right? So let me
Give me your email. Let me send this link to you.
Sure. Send it to projectcareer@gmail.co.uk. There's something else I just want to cover with you real quickly. Oh yeah, .com. Good point. Good point. So there's another matrix I'd like to share so that you are you when I'm looking for you. All right, so let me just move this across so you can all see this as well. Right. I think you can all see this. Yeah, so again, this is something we would use in order to help us make a decision, right? So like I'm saying, assuming we've got 50 in total, from that 50, we get to 2 that we say to ourselves, using our Moscow, right? We've come to it and we've said from using the Moscow analysis, we have 20 requirements. Again, that 20, you still want to filter down because time is of the essence. Like you said, you're not the only business in the game. Yeah. The way you're wanting to be successful, your competitor is also thinking the same thing. They're also building the same thing. Right. And sometimes with a lot of these products, especially in tech, it's about first to market, you know. And again, it's not even just that, it's about, you know, continuous improvement, continuous development, right? And that's why you see a lot of these companies are really killing it and they're not going to stop anytime soon. But prioritization matrix, we've got our 20 that we want to do. Now, the question is, we're going to ask ourselves, okay, first of all, how important is it? How urgent is it? Yeah, that's the first question. Second question, you're looking at the impacts, right? And that's what you're going to use to make a decision. So as you can see, if it's, what that line say? Yeah, potential rewards. If the potential rewards are high and the impact of having it done is also high, likewise, it's important and it's urgent, then it's something that we're going to put in our top line here as critical, which is going to be first priority. Yeah. On the other hand, if it was low importance, low urgency, and the impact was also low, okay, we'll say, all right, you know what, take that out. Put that in the backlog. We'll come back to it when we have time, when we have space. So from that 20, we could end up at a point where we have 6 here that are going to be first priority and critical. That 6 is what we then work on. right? Same way, this is a prioritization matrix. Some will still call it decision matrix, whatever you like. So this is something you can apply to your own personal life. Something needs to be done. You're asking yourself, how urgent is it? How important is it? What is the impact of doing this? What is the benefit of doing this? Is the benefit high? Right?
Is it the same thing as decision tree? Where does decision tree analysis come in?
It's similar because that just kind of keeps going through to help you make a decision. Yeah, so it's kind of similar, but this is just a lot broad in terms of it's not as we don't go as deep down. Yeah, but like you guys have all done this, like I said, without even thinking about it. You know, you've looked at yourself and you said, okay, well, this project management training, how important is it? How urgent is it? So, okay, well, you know what? It's high. It's getting to that point. Okay, what is the benefit? What is the impact of me doing this? Well, the impact is I can look to the point where I can start earning, £500 a day. Okay, well, top priority is something I'm going to go and do straight away. You understand? But then if you're like, there's nothing there like that. Okay, maybe you put it as second priority. However, it's just based on what you think. Again, this is something that would be expected of you, even in an organization. They will task you to things. I can come to you now and say, this is what I want you to do. Your manager can come to you now and say, this is what I want you to do. Right? He can also come to you and say, this is what I want you to do. In your mind, yeah, you don't necessarily have to do it on paper, but in your mind, you're asking yourself, right? You would even ask them, oh, John, this task that you've asked me to do, how urgent is it? Yeah?
Everybody says it's urgent.
Well, that's the thing, but you still need to ask. Somebody will tell you, oh, yeah, so sorry, it should have been done 2 weeks ago. Like, okay, fine. Right? But then again, that's not an automatic goal. You get my point? So even if that stakeholder or that task assignee or assigner rather has said it needs to be done 2 weeks ago, yeah, but sure, what is the benefit? What is the impact? Because clearly, if it needed to be done 2 weeks ago and it hasn't been done, it can't be something that has a big impact, right? I'm just asking. You get my point? If 2 weeks ago was when it was meant to be done and it wasn't done, and we're still running, we're still live, we're still good, we're still okay, then it's not that important. So you actually need to be mindful of this when making decisions and when taking on tasks within a project environment. You understand? It's literally like saying, you see smoke on one side and you see fire on one side. Which one are you going to deal with? You understand? The one you're going to deal with is the one that has the bigger impact and is the one that's most urgent, which is going to be the fire. The smoke, on the other hand, be like, you know what, we'll come back to that. Let's sort out this fire first of all.
Fire is already gone. Now, what about when they say if you've already poured milk on the floor, you can't take it off.
Don't cry over spilled milk.
Yeah, but smoking can stop you from getting into fire. So that's how you say it was not done 2 weeks ago. So
no, but yeah, no, you're right. But that's an example. But you're very correct. If it wasn't done 2 weeks ago, then you're right. That means it's not even fire. You get my point? It's not fire. It's not. It can't be. Because if it was fire, we would have ignored it. Whether you like it or I like it, we would have done something about it. That's the only way. Is that making sense?
Yeah, I get the price with the recruitment. You get loads of requisitions. They're like, oh, it needs to be done like yesterday.
Exactly.
You have to make a decision. Which one? Everybody's saying, yeah, it needs to be done, but which one is more?
Yeah.
Which one is high priority?
Yeah, that is it. So again, they can tell you, okay, like you said about the recruitment, it can be a case of, all right, fine, we've got a lot of jobs that have come in from a client or a business. Which one are we going to focus on? Obviously, from them, you need to know, okay, which job right now is going to have that bigger or the biggest impact to your organization. That's what you're looking for. Okay? Any other questions on that? No. All right, all good, fantastic. So I just realized we haven't done the steps. So let me do the steps. if we can.
What's involved today?
What's involved?
Ginger us.
I should ginger, you people should ginger me. Let me just clear the board real quick.
Clean board.
Yeah, late comer should be cleaning board.
Exactly.
Because Sonia came early today, we not rest. Yesterday she came 12:30
No,
instead of 11. On Sunday, last week, Jonathan, I was waiting for you people in the kitchen, remember?
yeah.
This place was locked though. I came early on Sunday, I sat down there.
I didn't
Maybe
leave
was
my
dark.
jacket in the kitchen like you did it.
That was I came early. This is my first time of coming late.
Don't worry, we'll allow you, but next week, you
No.
come late like this.
Let us sweep this place.
Try out. She came yesterday 12:30. That's like almost 2 hours after class started.
I had special permission.
See, me too. Me too.
So while I just let this board dry, since we have Wale here, I'll let Wale also talk through his experience. So Wale is somebody, like I said, he's been through the training. He's worked alongside me on my M&A projects as well. So I'll just let him.
So is it working now? Is it in the field now?
Wale, over to you. Let me just get this.
So
Just come up so the guys can see you online as well.
okay, so okay, thank you for the opportunity.
No problem.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting journey. I have to be sincere with you. Yeah, because everybody comes in here like a clean slate, to acquire that knowledge. And there's difference between just getting the knowledge and you see someone that is ready to support you. Oji will always say something that I give you the 100 when you give me the 100. So when it sees that you open your hand, it's ready to carry you at any point in time. I can remember sometimes that I have some what do you call it, interviews. OJ will say, just come, let's prepare, all of that. So for every job spec, it breaks them down, gives you what the question any question that might likely come up, you practice it together and you do the best that you can. And beyond that, when it comes to understanding the concept of the project management itself, this place is the best place that you can be. And like you always tell us, there's nothing like you're not good enough. The idea is just step into it, get it done. Like one of his status yesterday, because aside being my my sensei, he inspires me.
Sensei. Is a Japanese or Eastern term for master.
Master. Yeah. So aside being
like karate master, karate sensei.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
So aside being that, it's an inspiration because there's always something to inspire you when you go to his status on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah. On his WhatsApp status.
WhatsApp
Yeah. There's something to inspire you. Like what is mentioned, what he said yesterday, he said the imposter
syndrome.
Syndrome. So you don't say you're not good enough. Even the professional himself, they go through Google and search for things. So that's on a daily basis. It's not just say project management alone. All around life, I'm happy to see you here because you are about to unleash something. Yeah, you're about to unleash something to yourself. The next level. That 500 pounds per day is real. I must tell you. Yeah. So you're welcome. So my name is Adewale.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I've been with OJ for about a few months now.
Yeah. Like I said, Adewale has worked alongside me on some of the projects.
Did you have Did you wait for us to ask?
Okay. So
do you have any do you have any knowledge about project management or experience before you came to Rochester?
No, because I've been into banking for a long time back in Nigeria. So yeah, so I don't have any prior knowledge of project management. So, but if you are about to go into something, just like every one of us would do, just go and search what's about this. Okay, so I cannot become this, what I'm not. So then when I came into the United Kingdom, so I was like, where's the best place that I can? I've been seeing different
Yeah.
What's it called? Let me say avenues of training and all of that. And I was like, okay. But when I came to meet OJ on day one, the way we interacted, and I said, no, this is the best place.
What saved you from traveling?
Yeah.
Yes, we want kind.
Yeah.
Any
So
other
that's just
questions?
it. Any other question?
What was your role? What did you worked with him?
Yeah.
Was that your first?
Yeah, that was when he
Project.
was on this project that he just completed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlison.
Carlison's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Carlison's and PMI. Yeah. So that was about merger and
Acquisition project.
project. Yeah.
You
So
brought
what-
him.
Yeah, it was working alongside me. Yeah.
So you know.
So obviously, from an experience perspective, for people in the environment, like I said, usually when I'm in my own room, even if I'm in a meeting, I have the big screen. People can come in, sit down, you follow the meeting, you see what's going on, you see how I interact. And obviously, when we finish the meeting, give you a chance to ask questions. You can be like, OJ, you said this. Why did you say this? So again, it's not just learning what the book says, but seeing how it is practiced, how we manage stakeholders. Don't get me wrong. I too will come across difficult people, but we'll then say, okay, this is how we're going to manage so and so person. So and that's part of the benefit that okay, we are here physically. Like when you guys finish now, for majority of people, I always say to them, as much as they can, let them come into the environment. You understand? Come in. Like, I think, did you come in one day or like that last week or 2 weeks ago? Ola. Here. Yeah. Okay, I thought maybe you guys are planning to come in or something.
If anybody was
Yeah.
interested.
Okay. But on a normal week, Wale is here, other people are here, there's guys that are working
So you
already.
went from here.
Yeah, some guys come and work from here.
So making yourself available, and OJ is also available.
Yeah, because
So we can shadow anybody.
people that are working, you can shadow them and be like, "Ah, what are you doing? What are you, you can shadow.
Are you in the project?
I'll be starting soon. So
Also,
very soon.
I seriously don't see any big deal in coming here because I live just down the road, like I said.
Yeah,
The problem
definitely.
is if I don't see anyone that I know from my
Okay,
side,
so
I
let me
won't be able
no. We don't work like that here.
I know, but
Okay, so why are you saying it?
because I won't
No,
be able to-
no.
If you get a job now, are you gonna say because you don't know them, you won't take the
Look,
job?
the point is, look, no. I get where you're going. I get what the point is learning how to be uncomfortable, right? This is the environment. I tell people I don't want people to come in here and just sit quiet and don't talk to anybody. No, that shy doesn't help us. Shy doesn't help us. So
I am, actually, I am.
Even if you don't talk, people will come and meet you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. People will come
Maybe I'll come and sit down in one corner and be looking like this. Be like, what's wrong? Maybe somebody will come and ask me.
Someone like Shabazz.
Yeah.
Will definitely come and meet you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, so let me just do the
Thank
steps
you.
real
Yeah.
quickly. So today,
Yeah, thank you.
since let me get. I think we had this was our independent.
Why you lazy? I didn't wear my glasses today.
Soon, so I'll come to the class and I'll give a speech like.
Let's go now. Let's go.
Yes.
Yes, that's the
But
whole point.
5,000 per day. Make sure you bring
Yes.
your family members to come and learn from both days.
That's right.
My first job landed me 10K per day.
That's
But
so.
that's not the same.
Okay.
Me, I'm aiming high, oh. I don't care.
You have to.
I am.
H.
Sonia.
Yeah, and H
Is
for
there anything
Hassan.
for us today?
Yes.
There's
What
nothing.
Wale join?
What's it for us?
I will join.
Okay, Wale will join.
Sonia,
But
did you agree?
well, if Wale join, because I added him, anything you win.
No, he's not eligible. He's gone through his own. He's done his own. He's not eligible anymore. So let me get some numbers. What do we reckon? So we're on
What is the need for us today?
6,284.
I'm not done.
We're getting free product from you. How about that?
How
People
about
that
that?
Let the Lord use you.
You see. So what do we have?
Let's go to HR.
So Sonia, what do we have? Ola, Hassan.
Hola. You tell us if you're getting.
Don't worry, they play.
Hola.
Don't mind that.
Now.
We'll go without her. Don't mind that.
We go.
We'll go without her. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, now
All the
let's
best.
go.
Let Ola say first.
Which this is go without me, so let all say first.
Okay. You're on 6 now. So I would
Yes.
say 9,500.
All right. Hassan, Wale,
I give it 10,200.
10,200.
Don't fucking me wrong.
I said I'm not
Okay, this morning, what's your count on?
6,284.
Early
Currently.
this morning.
No, like right now, currently.
Okay. Because I don't know.
Oh, right.
Okay, let's do 8,000. No. 8,900.
8,900.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
By
Yes.
4, right?
5.
Oh,
So it's
by
only 3 hours ish or 4 plus. I should think 10,000. 10,500.
What is 5?
No, that's not mine. That's our
Oh. So let me.
Because last time
So
I just
Sam was
remember-
10,200. Yours is
Make it 11,000.
11,000 for yourself.
Since she
As
put
long
this
as-
number now, then when she doesn't with anything,
Okay,
you start
since it's
crying.
3 hours time, please increase it to 12,200.
Highest bidder, pa.
Yeah.
You not beg me.
Beg you can.
Take you to win something.
They play.
Please join.
This one, you be a wicked wife.
Very wicked.
You very
Wicked.
wicked. That's a face.
Cameroon Becker.
Husband with a beg pass. Say, baby,
This
please.
one thing I beg.
Beg
You
you.
cannot beg now. Don't do that. So you don't beg. Okay, don't worry. Let's continue. You see, all of you come back to me. Don't
Do
worry.
what?
Then you see that. Don't worry.
Because you're paying, that's why you're not giving it. That's why. You understand? You understand? You're going
All
to
right.
be the winner.
So, we
I will
went.
let me say my own first.
Oh, yeah, say what number do we have?
6,200 and something.
84 right
Write
now.
that down. 6,000. She said 6,000.
So I'll do 9,800.
I know you copied.
What did you
You
choose? So
copied
that
my
you
first
choose
one now.
11K.
Yeah, you copied my face.
You want to kill it? Someone that has chair beside you.
All right, wonderful. So, yesterday, obviously, like I said, we were talking about project plan. We started using Smart Sheets. Again, Smart Sheets is one of the many tools. But right now, it's a free tool. You've got it there for 30 days. I would encourage you, get familiar with it, be using it more and more. Realistically, Smartsheet is literally a copy of Microsoft projects. You know, it's like the cousin of Microsoft projects, if I can put it that way. And again, it can be used for both agile projects and waterfall projects. Okay. Just to kind of cover off again how we go about developing the plan. So obviously, we need to understand what is the scope of work that we're trying to do, what schedule are we trying to work around, the resource allocation, risk is a big part of it as well, communication, quality, the budget, the expense, the governance, right? Because at each stage of the execution, there's going to be different things. Now, depending on the environment you're in, for example, if you have a PMO in that environment, project management office, they will require or may require certain reports from you about your project, right? All of that you need to factor in so that it doesn't come to you as a surprise. What I would say is one of the key things to success is knowing how an organization works. So if I go somewhere as a newbie, I want to understand what are your processes, right? Whoever has brought me in, at least whoever has brought me in. Again, depends on the structure of the organization. The problem in some places, they don't set you up for success. Does that make sense? So you really have to go out of your way to be like, no, give me the information. You have to almost drag that information out of them, right? Because the problem with organizations is truthfully, you have people there that are also trying to figure it out themselves. You have people there that are just, flying by and, maybe they've done one, boot camp somewhere so nobody knows it all, right? So it's really about, okay, let's get the right information from the right people. Like I said as well, coming into an environment, You want to take that time to understand, okay, how do things work here? You know, who's who within the environment. You know, I always say I think I said it before about stakeholder management. It's knowing who's asked to kiss and how well to kiss it. You know, in an organization, sometimes power is not by title. You know, because you'll be looking at this person, oh, this person is big, this person has this title. But there may be somebody else opposite that isn't titled, but guess what? They have a more influence, right? It's not always about power, it could just literally be influence. They have more influence than others. So if, for example, now, if you're going to an environment and you want to, for example, deliver a change management project, as an example, you want to identify who are the key people within this structure, within this environment that I need to win them over. You understand? Get them on my side to then be able to get them to help with, you know, the delivery. Now, when I say with that delivery, is getting them to pass along that information, pass along the communication, so it gets to the right people. You understand? Because if it's coming, if everybody hears it from one person, that, oh, so-and-so said this is going to be good, fine, it's going to be good. So for you as project managers, you need to identify who is that so-and-so. And again, it might not be by title. Who is that so-and-so? Identify them, build that relationship with them, bring them on side so that they're with you. And once they're with you, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm trying to achieve, they will support you. But the problem we have when we fail, so what I'm saying here is going back to part of our stakeholder analysis. The problem we have is when we don't identify that person and we just come in and we're just like, yeah, I'm here to do the project. And you're just running, you're running 1,000 miles an hour. You fail to identify that person. They will literally leave you and let you carry on. You understand? They will let you carry on. But then the problem is whatever you have done is going to meet a dead end because you've not carried the right people along. Again, all of this is complex, just related back to relationships. You know, you need to identify, okay, Ola now, she meets Mr. Right. You know, Mr. Right, he has family members, he has key people. She needs to identify who are these key people. Does that make sense? Who are these key people that I need to bring on side? You know, and that's why I give you the example. You know, somebody say, oh, meet so-and-so, so-and-so. You need to know, okay, oh, this is my uncle. I love this, my uncle. Ah, this is my uncle. He's so much to me. Da, 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 da. You know, and the young man now sees the uncle, say that, okay, how you doing? The uncle will be like, is that so? And you want to marry my daughter? Aha, exactly. So we really need to take that into consideration.
Just thinking, because my previous experience, I was working really close with the CFO.
Okay.
But the PA is the most influential.
Fantastic example.
So I'm like,
fantastic example.
How in my head I was thinking, how can the PA be more influential?
But that's it.
She had connection to the COO, a lot of
and
people.
You know, to make it more relatable, like you said, that is a very good example. It's like in Nigeria and maybe other parts of Africa. If you want a big man to do something, it's not about chasing him. His PA. You understand? He's giving his PA something so that your file can get to the top. It's just normal human interaction. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about stakeholder management. Because if you're like, leave the PA, who are you? You understand? You know, and again, that's why I said, look, at the least, just be a nice person. You go into an environment, you see the receptionist, treat her like gold. You understand? Because there's a tone being set that you don't know. People are reading you like a book. You know, you go somewhere, you see the receptionist, you see the security guard. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here for a job. Can you open the door, please? Can you open the door? I'm here for a job. I'm here for a job. They're just looking. It's not that they won't do their job. They'll do their job, but guess what? You've already written that book about yourself, through your ways, through how you've conducted yourself. And they will just allow you. You understand? But all it takes, like I said, you don't know who's who. That's one. Two, you don't know who's sleeping with who, especially in an organization. You understand? Mm-hmm. You know, and that's why I say to young guys, especially, like, don't go somewhere and be like, hey, fine, babe, what's up? Let's talk on Teams. Give me your number. Let's meet up after work. Right? Like I said, look, the problem is She may be the CFO, the CEO's private snack, and you now want to come and you understand? You find yourself in some. So when you now go to work on Monday, and you all of a sudden they've told you, pack your bag and be going home. You not be shouting my village people. No, village people were on holiday. You see that put yourself in wala. You understand? So you really need to go in, obviously do your job, but understand the dynamics, the unwritten dynamics of the relationships within the organization, because that's what's going to get you to success. You know, everybody matters. I gave you the story about the dinner lady. You understand? Everybody matters. It's just knowing them all and knowing how to maneuver yourself within the organization. Okay? So just carrying on from there. Let me find mine. Just a second. Again, obviously, it's important that we define the requirements early on. Yeah. If we can define the requirements early on, there's going to be less room for changes. Okay. Because again, if we get to that point where we are executing the project and then we need to make changes, those changes are going to cost us more.
Sorry, can you just go back? Define the requirement rules to do what?
Define the requirements of the project.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be able to.
So we understand the scope fully from the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, that's why on your side, you need to ask as many questions as possible. You need to understand everything. Obviously, we said we don't go in with assumptions. It's not about making assumptions that, oh, I think. No, validate that. Yeah. Again, by defining the requirements up front, it reduces the risk of scope creep. Okay? Because we don't want to be running 1,000 miles an hour while we're doing our project and somebody says, oh, by the way, that means what? We now have to stop. Listen, right, okay, let's go and see what we can do. All right? We talked about CIA. You guys remember CIA? CIA is what? CIA. CIA. Sonia. CIA.
Hey.
Hassan.
Something assessment.
I see that something impact analysis. I can't.
Along the right lines. Oh, wow.
How come?
I don't know.
Change impact assessments.
Assessment. Yeah, that's the one.
Change impact assessments. Okay. Yeah. You keep forgetting it.
Yeah.
Should I help you remember it?
I don't even know. I forgot. No, I need access to the
Elements.
Have you followed my email? You followed the instructions on the
I
email?
couldn't last night first. So
Okay. But it's there.
No, we
Yes,
won't
ma'am.
do it today. So you
No
have to
problem.
do-
No problem. So let me help you remember it. CIA, just come on up. Come on up. Did you know that apparently, if you say something 3 times, people remember it better? So change impact assessment, change impact assessment. Change impact
sounds like
assessment.
FBI. If I
Okay, fine. That's fine.
CIA,
CIA,
change impact assessment.
again,
Change impact assessment.
and again. Change impact assessment, yeah?
Change impact assessment.
Uh-huh.
Change impact assessment.
Oh, you won't forget now.
Come on, get out. Oh, why did you do this to me?
Now you won't forget.
She
Now you
will.
won't forget, yeah?
Wait.
No, she won't now. Because she'll remember that you're recording her.
Yeah.
Please remind
Yeah.
me again, when do we have to?
To use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do this when a requirement comes in for a change. Okay? So what we don't do is we don't accept every single change that comes in.
Change management.
No. Change management is different. Okay? So change management, I get what you're thinking, right? But change management right now in this case relates to changing of the processes within an organization. That's a totally different skill set entirely to an extent. It's similar. So you have project managers and you have change managers. They are like cousins of each other. You understand? So by cousins, they share the same, at least grandparents, right? They're not the same, but there's still that connection between them. So, but now, realistically, I get what you're saying. In some organizations, there is no line. It's all blurred.
So I've recruited for project managers that the hiring manager is looking for someone with change management experience.
Yes. So that change management, a lot of the time would be changing how the organization works. So, i.e., changing the processes, changing the culture, changing the tools. But again, there's still an element of project management with that. You're still using project management terminologies. You're still using project management skills. So that's what I'm saying. For some organizations, yeah, right? There's a thing I'll find for you. I sent it out a long time ago. I'll find it again. It basically gives you 20 jobs, different titles, but they're all project managers. Yeah. It's just the title. You understand? It's just the title. Okay? So coming back to CIA, change impact assessment. When do we use this? What is it used for? We use this when a change comes in. Right? Now, a change would come in, technically, depending on the environment, a change should come in by way of a CRF. CRF is change request form. Okay? Now, an organization that has standards would have a change request form, CRF, change request form. In that form, it's just basically saying, these are the changes we want to make. This is why, and this is what we feel the impact is going to be. CRF, change request form, very simple. You then, as a project manager, take that and you conduct a CIA. Again, what are you conducting that CIA against? What is the purpose of you conducting that CIA?
To see how it impacts the time, cost,
Scope.
and scope.
TCS. What else? What is it?
Risk.
Thank you. Yeah. And we have our risk in the middle. Okay. So we're building a house. Ola comes across and says, this house that you're building for me, I'd love for you to, I know we agreed it's a 5-bedroom. We agreed, £250,000 for the build. I would like you to add another 2 bedrooms. As the building company, I'm not going to say, yes, no problem. I'll go and do it straight away. What's the risk of me doing that? There's a risk that the cost involved will have to change. The scope has changed. The time will definitely have to change. So I need to do that change impact assessment to be able to say, hi, Ola, after conducting a CIA, after conducting a change impact assessment, I can tell you that this change that you have, this request for change, is going to do X, Y, Z, is going to impact your time from 6 months to 8 months, whatever. It's going to impact your cost from 250,000 to 280, 295, whatever, right? As much as you're managing the project and you're managing the budget, it's not your money. So as the PM, you can't just say, yes, we're going to do it straight away, right? Because if the client says, well, you never told me it's going to cost me, you never told me that's how much it's going to be, you understand? It's like taking your car to the mechanic and you just dump it there, say, oh, fix it. You're not going to know whether it's taking him 10 minutes, an hour, a week. But if he just calls you up and said the car is ready, send me £2,000. You first shout and say £2,000 for what? But because there was no scope to begin with, are you with me now? Because there's no scope to begin with, you're now going to be like, oh, I don't have that. Be like, well, that's the work that we did. because everybody has left everything to assumptions.
So this CRF it's not the project manager that, produces, like, I don't know, brings it up. It could be from the business, or if a project is already going on, it could be from, let's say it's a building. Maybe the head, what do they call this building? The person that vendor come up with.
It can come, okay, so it can come from anyone.
Can it come from the project manager?
Well, yes, because it has to be documented. We're not just going to do things because we feel like it. That's the problem here.
Is this done because it's out of scope?
Because yes, that wasn't the initial agreement.
Right.
You know, it's like you're in the kitchen and you're making jollof. We've already agreed this jollof will be ready by this time. This is how much it's going to cost. Like, you're making me a pot of jollof. You said, okay, Ojo, this pot of jollof is going to cost you £40. It will be ready by this time. This is going to be the quality. It will have pepper. Because if you do, I know if you don't put pepper, you will not eat it. You understand? I can't now turn around and tell you that, oh yeah, sure. Can you please make me pasta? Pasta is now what? That's out of scope. You understand? But you're not going to just shake your head and say, yeah, okay, pasta, I'll make you pasta.
That's totally different though. But if, say, for example, I say, okay, make with that jollof now, you've already bought the ingredient. I say, okay, put mixed veg inside.
Okay, fantastic.
Out of scope? Or
it's going to be a change request.
okay.
Yes, because we didn't budget for that. We didn't account for the time of that initially. So that's why, going back to what we started with, that's why it's important that we understand the requirements in full from the beginning. So you know, as an example now, Ola's husband needs to know that this baby, I beg, we must beg her. If he doesn't know that one, and he now don't marry her finish, and she said, beg me, yeah, I'll be like, beg you for what again?
Are you a baby? Why would I beg you? That's why I have not started.
Can you see? So once you know the scope fully, the better. Because that leaves less room. So that's why we have to ask the questions. You know, you want this. Why? Who? What? Where? How? When? You understand? You take those answers. You go down deeper again. Why? Who? What? Where? When? How? Again. That's why we did the exercise when John was stood up. And I think one of yourselves was the client. I think it was yourself, Sonia. You were the client. And I told John, he can only sit down once he feels comfortable enough that he understands what you want. Because the minute he sits down, assuming that's now signifying he has started the project, and you now turn around with something else, he's going to have to be like, okay, you know, what do we now do? If you remember, there was a graph I was showing you, and I was giving you the life cycle of the project. Yeah? You remember at the start of the project, we have here, this is the start of the project, it's coming up, and we get into the planning, execution, you know, and it comes down here, right? In the same breath, we have the change ability to cost effectively manage change, right? So what we're saying is that also starts high, but then it now literally keeps coming down and drops all the way to the bottom. So the point is, at the start of the project, we can effectively manage change easily, because we've not started the work. This point here is all on paper. You understand? You wanted to build a house. Oh yeah, sure. You know, call the architect. Oh yeah, draw this. Architect, I saw that drawing. That room doesn't look okay. Do another room there. Add this. Oh, can you make this one ensuite? Yeah. The effort for him, for such a person, for that resource, maybe, I don't know, a day, right? In comparison to us now being in the execution phase, in the middle of execution. You understand? We're already 5 months out of our 6 months that we had planned for the project. And somebody now says, oh, can you add this? Can you add another room? You're going to be stuck. I'm not saying it's totally impossible. Don't get me wrong, because that's the whole idea of project management, to find a solution. But it would have been better if it had come in at that point, at an earlier point, at the initiation point. So going back to building a house, you know, dare I say it, you're almost asking, okay, Mr. and Mrs., sure, we're happy to build you this house. Oh, how many kids do you have? Oh, 4. Oh, that's wonderful. How old are your kids? Right? So by asking how old are your kids, you know that, okay, well, maybe they're teenagers. So guess what? They're going to need a separate rooms, you know? And dare I say, I'll probably be like, oh, are you planning to have any more? You understand?
Can you ask them questions?
No, I'm hypothetically speaking.
Oh.
But obviously the whole point is asking questions.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's too
Is
personal.
there a limit to what you can? That's what I'm trying to.
No, it's not like
Before
there's
you,
a,
before you throw you out of
okay.
the room.
obviously it's not like there's a limit as such. Obviously your questions need to come with sense.
Yeah.
You understand? And given the building example, yes. I mean, yes, I think maybe how you ask the question more so. Oh, are you guys planning to grow the family anytime soon? As an example. Not, oh, are you having a baby? Are you pregnant? You understand? It's a bit too sensitive, too personal. Thank you. But yes, maybe it's, oh, you guys plan to, you know, have other family members around or whatever it is. You know, is your mother-in-law coming from Nigeria? You know, so she'll build a boys' quarter for her or whatever it is, you know. So you're asking those questions so that you get the requirements early on as best as you can. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Again, it helps us to improve communication and facilitate decision making. Okay, we don't want this process to be overly drawn out as such. We want to get it right, but sometimes you really have to go. And that's where the difference comes in between agile and waterfall. Waterfall, you are not going anywhere until you have gone through that process. You understand my point? You are not going to start digging the foundation unless that initiation and that planning has been completed. Does that make sense? Whereas with agile, we feel like building this thing. Okay, let's go. We will come back to all the documentation and all the nitty-gritty. We'll come back to that. But let's just do something. You understand?
That's a different thing.
Oh,
Oh,
and
agile
everything
is
is done
less
with simple.
documentation.
Hmm?
But I thought agile, you can do more than one thing at the same time. That's what I thought.
Yes, you can, but not with certain things. Agile can never apply to certain environments.
Like
So if you're-
construction.
Yeah, exactly. If you're building a house, yes, you can do multiple things at the same time, but there's still a process you must follow. You can't plaster the wall and paint it at the same time. No. So it doesn't work. You know, again, with a manufacturing line, you're trying to build a car. You can't say, oh, let's spray it while we're putting the engine on. No, there's a process. Don't get me wrong, the sub processes to that might be agile, but that actual process itself follows the waterfall approach. It has to. It has to. But in the case where we're building applications, systems, you know, I told you I didn't sleep till 4 because I'm trying to build something. You understand? And I'm building on the fly as it's coming to my head. I didn't initially sit there and be like, what do I want to do? And spend weeks. You understand? Like, okay, this should be good. Oh yeah, do it. Oh, yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. You understand? It's agile. That way, that means I get to, as a business and as an individual, one thing you want to do is you want to learn how to fail fast. Does that make sense? You want to learn how to fail fast. Sounds odd. Sounds somehow. But that's what you need to learn. Right?
That because you learn from that failure.
You do learn from that. And guess what? The minute you learn from it, you now know what to do. Rather than, taking your time to fail, you could spend 2 years on a product that eventually fails. And you now go back to 1. Or you do what you need to do, get to the point where you get it out there and you fail in 3 months. You've not wasted 2 years now. You understand? You've only wasted 3 months, but that time you've got it back, and that time is valuable because now you can now pivot. You can now go to a different direction. It's what a lot of companies do. Software-based companies, agile companies. Let's get out there. You understand?
You're still recording. Just reminding it.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I should still be recording. Yes, it will pain me. Yes, still recording. Fantastic. Okay, what are we on? 20 to 3. Okay, you know what? Let's just take a pause there. Let's be back at 3, if that's okay. We came in at 1, so I'll probably move my car as well, actually, so I don't give them free money today. All right, so we'll come back for 3 o'clock. Okay? Cheers, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna pause my. All right, cool. So we are back. Okay. Right, we're back in the room. Yes, we're back in the room. Okay, fantastic. Wale, I thought Wale Hassan. Yes, you're with us. Perfect. Okay. All right then. So, any questions before we carry on?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yep, good. Any questions before we carry on? No, we're all good. Okay, fantastic. So, continuing on with this, let me just bring this back up on my side so I can see it, see my notes. Okay. Okay, so carrying on with this, I'm gonna just wrap up on planning, and then we can move on to the next module, which is for today, execution, because you guys have a task that you need to do, which will be to develop and create your WBS, okay? Not WBS, rather your WSR, okay, which is your weekly status report, all right? We'll come to that. So just wrapping up with this, obviously it's important that we understand the different types of requirements. Okay, there are business requirements, there are functional, technical, users, quality, regulatory, environmental. For me, I will just put this all down to as understanding the drivers behind the projects. Why are we doing this? You understand? Why are we doing this? What is the importance of this? What are the benefits? What do we stand to gain? What do we expect to get out of this? Right? Those are all the key things that we need to understand. Like I said,
Can you just go back a little bit? Say for you, I'll put it down to
the drivers,
the driver.
understanding the drivers of the projects, the why. You know, again, we're not doing it just because. A business will not wake up and say, oh, we want to do this thing just because. Even if they have unlimited money, there is no just because. There's got to be a justification. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a driver, you know. And I always kind of equate that to a lot of businesses that do a lot of so-called charity work. You understand? You know, if you look behind the scenes, it's because by them doing the charity work, they may get tax relief on the financial side of it. By them doing charity work, it helps them as part of the, you know, CSR. What is it, CSR, corporate social responsibility. There's a why, you know. Coca-Cola will not just say, oh, we want to do this just because. No, there's a reason to it. So as project managers, when you get into the environment, you need to know the whys. Why are we doing this? Okay, not just the whys, but the question you want to be asking as well, or you want to know the answer to, if there is one, is if we don't do this by this time, if this fails, what is the impact? What is the implication? That again will tie you back to the why. Like I said, with banking projects, if the Central Bank of England says this is how banks must work going forward, that means as a bank, you have no reasons not to. If you want to stay licensed, yeah, it's regulatory. That's a regulatory requirement, so you have to do it. Now, there will be penalties should you not make the target. Does that make sense? There will be penalties should you not have it implemented in time. The big thing was 2017, if anybody does know it, GDPR, April or May 1st, 2017. It's like, if you as a business, if you don't have GDPR, we're coming for you. So all of a sudden, businesses scrambled to do this.
Is there a financial requirement? No.
I mean, obviously you'll be doing it to make money of some sort, to get some kind of benefit, but it's not something I would call out with this. Don't get me wrong, yes, you know, there'll be benefit realization, which is, okay, we want to do this project, and that project could be, oh, we want to implement a new system. We want to implement a new software, a new process. right? We want to build a new warehouse. We want to build a new manufacturing plant because we can increase our capacity from X to X. So yeah, that is a financial part. You understand? Because you know that, okay, this is going to be the benefit, this is going to be the output of it all. But that initially would not be a requirement. You know, it will more so, this would be your requirements. So it's good to understand what does it look like. Yeah? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to whiz through the rest of these. Some of these we've covered, so we don't want to get too far into it. We've done the exercise, which is key. Again, like I said, when you do go through, if any questions pop up, feel free. We talked about the Gantt charts, estimation. Again, let me be clear, when it comes to estimation, remember we talked about that buffer. Don't find yourself in a position where, because the resource says, and that's what you go with. From experience, realistically, if I've never worked with a resource before, I'm kind of cautious. What I mean by that is I don't know how well you work. I don't know how good your word is. So as an example, if I'm asking you, oh, this is what we need to do, how long will it take? And you tell me, oh yeah, that will take 2 weeks. But people that know you in the organization know that, this guy is 2 weeks. I lie. That means 4 weeks. But if I now go and make that rookie mistake on my part, and now I write down, yeah, this will take 2 weeks. Even if I put a buffer on it, you understand? And I put a buffer of 10%. That goes from 10 days plus 2 weeks to 11 days. No, is it 11 days? Yeah, 11 days, 10%. You understand? I'm still going to fail. Right? So what I'm saying there is, when it comes to it, you need to understand, again, this is where it's good to know what the organization is about, how people work. You know, you can ask another PM, oh, this guy, I'm going to have this guy on my project. What is he like? How does he, you know, does he do the job right? Is he on point? Is he good? You know, because everybody is coming in with different levels of competency. So you want to be careful you don't trip yourself up. But at the end of the day, it's going to be on you as a PM. Okay? So it's important to define that. You want to protect yourself. Now, when you get to that point where you know how the person works, then yes, you know, it's a lot better for you in that case. But in the first instance, it's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah?
Now, that would only apply if you work there, if you're new, you don't know.
Yeah, if you're new, yes.
How
But
that person works.
exactly. But if you've been there and you know how they work, yeah, of course. Of course. You know, it's like, you know, your partner tells you I'm going to cook. You know that this cooking, 10 minutes, the job is done. Or I'll see you in 2 hours. You know. Again, what else do I want to call out without going through all of this realistically? Yeah, I'll just skip forward ahead. Okay, milestones, while it's on the screen. Obviously, we'll talk about milestones. Milestones are, like I've said, that champagne popping moment. You understand? It's not the end of the project as such, but it's just that moment where we just, you know, have a quick drink and, you know, re-energize ourselves and keep going. All right, to make it realistic, you know, if you're building a house, there are different stages. Those stages are classed as milestones. So, i.e., you know, you've done the foundation, that's one stage, right? You brought it up to first level, that's another stage. You do the decking, that's another stage.
It's a deliverable achievement, activities within a deliverable achievement.
So don't forget, the way we're working is it's interchangeable, but you will have your activities, which become your task, which become your deliverable, which becomes your milestone, which becomes your project in itself. Yeah?
So yesterday you said, oh God, I will less without this, I don't know how to explain it. So, you know, the first indent you put in, that is anything under it, is the,
But you can go
Activities,
down
no?
as far as you want.
no, I know, but
Yeah.
there are different
Yes.
sections of deliverables.
Yes. No.
No, because now
So
it's like,
this is the project, right?
mm,
A project can have as many milestones as it needs to.
yeah.
Likewise, a milestone can have as many deliverables as it needs to.
Mhm.
A deliverable can have as many tasks as it needs to. A task can have as many activities as it needs to.
So the milestone
Yes.
is after you've ticked off a deliverable.
A
Now,
deliverable.
that's
Yes,
what I'm-
that's right.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's right. Yeah. So if you're building a house, all the activities of that foundation
Mm,
being completed,
yeah, digging,
sits-
cement, all those things.
and they go from here.
Okay, and then-
So it's when it's now done,
Mm,
we've now saying we've hit the milestone.
okay, yeah, got it.
So if we said for this project, there were 20 milestones that we need to hit, it's only until we hit the 20 milestones that we have
Yeah,
completed
the project.
the project.
Got it, yeah.
Likewise, if there were 20 activities to complete for a task to be done, again, it's the same thing.
Mm.
Likewise, if there were 5 tasks for that deliverable to be met, it's the same thing. So the important thing on your end is you need to know the order of these things. You need to be able to know, okay, what fits into what. Think back to our Russian door analogy. You cannot put a big door, Abby, inside a small door. They won't fit. We've got the grandfather effect.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, grandfather, father, child. Then grandchild and great grandchildren. Cool. Fantastic. Okey-dokey. Resource allocation. Now, again, keep in mind what I'm telling you is generic to an extent. Every organization is different. How they work, how they do things is very different. You may go somewhere where they may have the luxury, but even if they did, I don't see businesses doing it because it's a waste of money. And what I'm trying to say is they may have the luxury to have multiple resources. So let's say they have 10 projects. So they may have, okay, we've got 10 projects. Let's get 10 project managers. Oh, okay, yeah, 10 projects, 10 project managers. Oh, let's give each project manager 20 resources to manage. That's like wishful thinking. It's not realistic because it's a waste of money, realistically, right? But what a business will do is, okay, we've got 10 projects. Tell you what, let's get 4 project managers, split the project between them. Okay, now we now go from having those 20 projects to having 20 resources per project. It'll be like that 20 resources per project. That's what, 400 resources thereabouts. Let's just have 100. And then what you now have to do is fight for those resources. This is where your negotiation skills come in. That's one skill. Second skill is your people skill, right? Rule 101. I've not said this to you guys because now I just came back to my mind. Rule 101. Make a note of this.
Rule 101.
101. Rule 101.
Write it here.
And that rule is, it's not project management. We're not project managers. I know, right? What are we? We are people managers. So it is people management, not project management. Why am I telling you that? Sure. What I'm saying is, it is not project management, it is people management.
So is that what the rule 101 is about?
Rule 101, it's not project management, it's people management. That's my rule. You can put OJ next to that. So every time you said, this is OJ's rule 101. It's not project management, it's people management. Why is it people management? The reason it's people management is because that is what the job is about. You are not working with robots that will jump at every command. You're working with people who have feelings, who have emotions, who have mental health. You understand? Who have a life. So your job is being able to manage those people accordingly. So if I understood things and the dynamics of how we are in this class, I believe, Ola, you sell hair, you do hair, right?
I'm looking for a job. Don't go too far.
So with what you do, realistically speaking, you're able to identify your customers and manage them accordingly.
She knows how to do that.
But that's the skill. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying, that we all have the transferable skills that we can bring into this environment. So you see somebody, you be like, oh, okay, this auntie will like this type of hair. You understand? You see, you hear how she talks.
True.
You understand? You be like, okay, this auntie get pepper. You understand? This auntie, her husband will pay for it. You understand? So you're able to put people into different areas. So it's the same with a professional environment. You know, it's understanding the people, because again, you're not going to do the work. It's the people that are going to do the work. But if you don't understand them, every job, most jobs, you'll see they'll be talking about, oh, as a project manager, they need you to lead the team. You cannot lead people you don't understand.
True.
You know, as a leader, as a manager, as a boss, whatever you want to call it, if I know what motivates you, I'm giving you that. So if I know that, yeah, Sonia is motivated by XYZ, that's what I'm going to offer you. You understand? I'm going to play that. I'm going to play to my advantage. So your people skills is got to be that number one. And like I've been saying, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not good at it. I'm not so.
No, go ahead.
It's
What
not
if
easy.
you're not good at it?
What if you're not good at?
At managing people.
Yeah,
and
manage
their
or just
excesses.
people just in general.
Okay.
See, let me say, before I was struggling with that.
Mhm.
When I started this business, it was better. It was okay in Dubai because I think people have more, they have the balanced mental health in that country. But when I came to this country, I saw that most of them have mental issues. Like, not like mental issues that they are mad,
Mhm.
but people here, they are just different.
Mhm.
They want you to either pamper them
Mhm.
or there's some people that you need to pamper them.
Okay.
Or you, I don't know.
And why did you pamper them? Why did you adjust?
It's not about pamper them like.
And but why did you adjust? Why did
I
you
need
change?
to adjust because I need to get a specific result. I need to sell. I need to make money.
So what are we arguing about?
So you saying people you should go and kiss asses like just to
If
get.
You don't want to get paid?
If you have to do it.
You think I don't kiss ass? You do not want to get paid?
You have to. That's all, because before I
Look.
won't lie to you. Before I would
Yeah.
have like 100 products in 1 month. I will not sell. In 2 months, I will not sell.
And why were you
not
not selling? Why were you not selling?
Because when people tell me, when they say, how much is this? And I say, oh, it's 200 pounds. And they'll be like, oh, is there anything you can do? I'll be like, sorry, there's nothing. That's the price.
That's the
Fixed.
price. Yeah.
I'm gone. I will not talk. Then they were complaining that, oh, she's so, how was that? Like,
Snobbish.
she's so, yeah, snobbish. She's so, like, when they see something on somebody, like, who sold it? Let me get her number. But they want me to be telling them, oh, it's so nice. The quality is very good. If you have any problem, come to my house. Come and arrest me. All those jokes. I started making jokes. One day I was talking. My friend was looking at me. And they're like, is this you? I said, don't tell me to buy this.
Look.
Guess what? People are buying.
He's scoping.
Yeah, people.
You see, I'll tell you one thing, right? I say this to everyone. When it comes to being in that environment, be who you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going home,
Gone.
when you're going home and you get to the car park, if you like, maybe you wait till you get home, or as you get into the car park, you can take off that mask.
Then I will start screaming like, oh, why
Right?
did I do
Because
that?
See, I wear my heart on my sleeve, right? And
yes.
I'll struggle a lot in.
No.
I have struggled actually. I won't lie.
No, look, what you're going to learn is how to be adaptable, right? Because again, same thing. You cannot go into an environment and say, this is how I work. This is how I always work. You are going to break.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is, oh, sure, how do you work? Oh, how do you guys do it? Oh, I normally write my, for lack of a way to present it, I normally write my sevens like this. That's my 7. They'll tell you,
What's that?
I'm just giving
okay,
an example. They can tell you, oh no, we write 7 like this. Right? Oh, okay. But that's what I'm saying. You just have to learn how to be adaptable. Because at the end of the day, you're not there for life anyway. You know, that's why so many people are like, oh, my job, my job. I'm like, look, if it's that bad, put an exit plan in place.
But you don't want to do it to the extent where you're being abused. Because
Of course.
No, sure.
You
Look,
or
I get your point. I totally get your point. I've left jobs where I felt like, nah,
course.
you people are, I've left one role because, okay, again, it's all about having things in place. Let me not bullshit you. There was a role I had, it was a permanent role working for a cybersecurity company, right? Long story short, I've gone on Christmas break. I've taken a holiday for Christmas. I went to Dubai, right? And at that point, I had literally just bought my property, and I was good, right? Because I paid everything up front, so I was good. Now something now happens.
Sorry, please, can you come again? Please don't. I have to pause. Sorry, please, can you come again?
Hi, this money is
Excuse
good.
me,
Oh,
as
just
the-
don't make many
No,
money.
let me get to my point.
I heard I went to Dubai.
Yes, I went to Dubai.
What year was that?
2021 to 22,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay,
So my point is,
oh, it's
I
not a
had a
point.
falling. No way, hold on. You get what I'm saying. I had like
Don't be slow.
not a falling out as such,
Mm.
right? But I came back and literally, I'll tell you the story. I came back from Dubai. I literally was just coming into UK airspace, Heathrow or whatever.
Mhm.
I put my phone on and my phone is buzzing like mad. I'm like,
What happened?
what's going on? I picked the phone as we've landed. It's the manager at the place I work. He's like, Jonathan, where are you? You should be online. Da, 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 da. Just, cha, down my throat.
On your holiday.
But the mistake was my mistake. I put my hand up. I was a day late. You
Oh,
understand?
okay.
I had miscalculated my days, so I was a day late.
Oh,
You understand?
Dubai does that to you.
Yeah, of course not. So I'm now like, okay, you know what? Let me get to where I'm going. Let me get online. I'll be online ASAP, you know, thinking about it, that kind of stuff. I get to my friend's place and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to go online.
Nah.
The next morning, I send them an email. I said, look, this is my resignation. I quit. I'm no longer working for you. Don't contact me. If you contact me, it's going to be a problem. The only people that are allowed to contact me is HR. I don't want to hear from anybody in this company.
Was it contract?
No, it's a permanent. I don't want to hear from anybody in this company. I'm not doing a notice period. I am done. The next message was from HR saying, no problem. We understand. Just let us know where you're going to drop off the equipment. That was it. Now, I'll tell you why I did that. My why was because at that point, I had fuck you money.
Yeah.
I had fuck you
Thank
money,
you, money, yeah.
right? Because in my mind, listen, my expenses were so low, I could afford to chill and just be like, yeah, you know what? Damn you. I don't care. You get my point? But you need to get to that stage.
Yeah, but you're even if you're not in that stage and then you're in a
You need to
place
find
that
a way
affects
out.
your mental
No,
health.
look, I totally
It's not-
get you.
it's not
I've left
I'm not
I've left
saying that-
another job because my manager, the woman at the time, it was as if she wanted to turn me into a tomboy, or not a tomboy, like a boy,
Mhm.
like go come. And I was like, what is this woman's problem? And I just jumped. I left. That point in my life, I left, and where I would describe it is I jumped out of a plane without a parachute, or rather with a parachute, but I'm putting my parachute on as I'm going down, trying to secure myself a safe landing.
You're not prepared for that.
I wasn't, right? Because I thought to myself, listen, whatever happens, happens. I'll figure it out. I'll get something. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to bullshit you. I was on my face flat out for 4 months. Because at that company, I was chasing promotion. But what they said basically was, oh yeah, the promotion can happen, but there's like a 4-year process for a promotion. In my mind, I'm thinking, who do I want? I think I want to sit here for 4 years. I've already done however many years. I don't want to sit here for 4 years. And then how much are you going to actually pay me on top when I get the promotion? 5K. I'm like, nah, I'm not kidding you. I jumped. Fair enough. I landed on my face. I was out for 4 months. Okay. Didn't have work. No problem. But the next job I got, what was it paying me? It was paying me £15,000 more. So if I'm going to calculate a risk, that risk to me benefited me, because that 4 months I was out paid me better than me waiting 4 years and hoping, not guaranteed, hoping I get a, you know, so that 5K, I'm like, forget that. Let me go for this. I'm not, don't get me wrong, it's nice now. It wasn't nice then. It's a lovely story now, but it wasn't nice then. But I would always say it's worth the sacrifice.
But for me, I think people take the mickey when they see that you're kind of a softie. That's my problem. Right? So this, how do you say to adapt? But if my adapt could be what extreme end.
Yes.
You understand? Because I feel if somebody's taking the mickey out of me, they think I'm a softie, and then I give them like the way opposite side of it, which could be a problem. So it's
Look, honestly,
I don't know.
this is what you need to learn. Yeah, of course, you need to learn how to balance it. I totally get you, but we just need to learn how to balance it so that it doesn't get to that. You know, when you not look at, I've worked places where resources, key people, they are difficult to work with. You understand? But I'm not going to make it my problem. I'll put that shit, whatever it is, I'll put it on them. So if I need them to do something, again, one thing, like I said before, from last week, I said, you don't punch above your weight. You know, I'm working with somebody that has been in the organization for 30 years, and I'm begging, like, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. The guy's not responding. Okay, no problem. Should be when we go to the meeting. If you don't answer to me, you answer to the people above you, right?
So do you like tell? Not like you're not telling.
No, like, but I'll be able to say, oh, this is where we are.
Yeah.
This is what is outstanding. This is who needs to do it.
Okay.
It's not my problem. I don't need to make it my problem. Let them make it their problem. Let them deal with themselves. I don't get dragged into all that kind of stuff. No. But it's what we'll learn. It's what we'll learn, you know. So don't worry about it. Right? So resource allocation, just to wrap this up real quick. Again, it's about being able to understand, you know, what resources you have access to, how much time can you get from them to be able to deliver your projects, right? Just, you know, again, it's about not overusing resources, burning them out. So there's what we call resource leveling. So making sure the resources in the organization get the same level of work, same amount of work, you know, and not one person is being overused above others, as an example. So the next part I want to cover is the execution and reporting. So I'll leave all of this. You guys can happily, we've talked about all these things, so rest assured, we've done them all. Risk as well. We'll talk about risk now. So obviously, you understand the difference between risk and issues. Risk is something that could potentially happen, and issue is something that is happening. Yeah, fantastic. Now, where do we log our risk and issues? Where do we put our risk and issues?
The RAID log.
The RAID log, yeah? So the RAID log is RAID, yeah? RAID, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that stands for what? Yeah, no, go ahead. Ola, do you know? No worries, yep.
Risk, assumption.
Yep.
Issue.
Yep.
Dependency.
Fantastic. So that's correct. Now, what is RAID?
She said risk assumptions.
Issues and dependencies. That's RAID. Yeah. What is RAID? So there's RAAIDD. What is that one? Do we know? Ola, Hassan, do you know?
No, sir, no idea, sir. No, no.
RAAIDD. Risk, assumptions, actions, issues, dependencies, and lastly, decisions. I would tell you that a good project manager would use this normal RAID. A great project manager will use the bigger RAID. RAAIDD. Risk, actions, assumptions, issues, dependencies, decisions. They can go either way, but just know what is involved.
So you're saying the top one, rate a good project
A
manager.
good project
will use
manager
that.
is expected, but if you want to be a great project manager, you use the next one. All right, cool. Now, remember this, when it comes to risk, it is everybody's responsibility within the project or the organization to call out risk. Risk is not one person's job. It's not one person's job to go around looking for risk. It's everybody's job. So if you see it, you call it out. As they say in London, see it, say it, sort it. If you see a risk, you call it out. This is the risk. Okay? Someone calling out the risk does not make them the risk owner. Okay? It doesn't make you the risk owner. So assuming you're on a project, you spotted something, whatever you spotted doesn't now mean you become the owner. Who should be the owner of a risk? From what I'm telling you now.
Everybody. No?
Not necessarily everybody.
The person actually working on, that is affected by that.
That's one.
The resource.
Not necessarily, doesn't have to be a resource, but yes, something that is affected. But more so, it's not necessarily, we're not looking at who also is affected, but more so what I'm looking for is who has the knowledge and capacity to deal with that risk. That's who's going to be our risk owner. So there's what you would call our risk identifier. Okay. And then our risk owner. So risk identifier is who called out the risk, who identified the risk. And then our risk owner is who basically has the capacity, has the knowledge, has the technical ability, has the power within the organization to deal and manage with that risk. That's where you would then put them.
Sorry, what did you just write?
Risk identifier and risk owner. So again, risk identifier is anyone that calls out the risk. Yep. A risk owner is anyone that is best placed, put it that way, best placed to manage the risk. Making sense?
Is the project manager that identifies that person that can manage the risk.
Well, you should be able to call out who has the capacity to manage the risk. But this is where your meetings come in. So if somebody has identified the risk, guys, you know, we're having a raid log meeting or we're having a risk meeting. These are the risks that has come out. Who's best placed to deal with it?
Oh, okay, putting it out there.
Yeah. But somebody needs to be accountable. Somebody needs to be able to take ownership of that risk. Now, okay. So again, when it comes to risk, two things we are considering. We want to understand what is the probability and again, the impact of this risk. So there's what you call, again, P times I, which is probability times impacts. Probability in some places is also termed as likelihood. What is the likelihood of this risk occurring? Keeping it simple, for both of them, you're going to have a way to measure, which will be low, medium, or high. From those two as well, those can also be referenced to in numbers, meaning low can be 1, this can be 3, this can be 5. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is saying low is 3, medium is 6, 5, high is 9. Doesn't really matter, right? As long as you do it. Now, what we're saying is, assuming you've identified a risk, if you have the knowledge or find the right person that had the knowledge, the question should be, what is the impact of this risk? You understand? So we're asking ourselves, should this risk occur, what is the impact? Not just that, but what is the probability of this risk occurring? So that's where we then get our P times I, right? Probability times impact matrix, however you want to call it. So assuming now, if you're following me, we have a risk that we've identified as low, that we've identified the probability as low, okay? We're then saying, oh, okay, what is the impact of that risk? So we're asking, what is the likelihood it could happen? We've said low. We then say, what is the probability? We then say, okay, you know what? Probability as well is also low. So what are we doing here? What do we do now with these? What do we do here? What is this? What is this? Yes, exactly. So we're saying 3 times 3 is what? 9. So that tells us that risk is low, is the lowest.
Is that where you put that 5 to 9 or something? No.
So in this case, I've used these numbers here. I've used the 3, 6, 9 numbers.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what I've used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it comes to high though. The answer comes to high.
Why?
Because 3, 6, 9. Yeah. If you're saying 3 times 3 is 9, then it comes to the on that. I guess high is 9. You put 9 there. You get me?
No.
So
No,
yeah,
no. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. No. Don't go too far.
Oh, it's not there.
No.
Okay.
I get why
Is that
why
how
you
you're
see.
doing it?
No, I get why you're saying it like that. So to answer the question, a high score
Mm.
would be the highest,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So assuming now, I said to myself, the probability of this risk is high, which is what? 9.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the likelihood is also high, which is
9.
9. And I'm not saying 9 times 9,
81.
right? So
Oh, okay.
that would mean that type of risk is fire.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So-
I think.
No worries. Let's do it real quick on Excel, and you see what I mean. Ooh. Okay. So let me bring up a document real quickly. Okay, let's go to this download. Second. Yes, okay. So let me bring this across. Okay, good. So if you can see my screen, so you guys are allowed to create your own RAID log, yeah? That's what we're going to do next. So this that you see is a very simple RAID log. You don't have to oversimplify it. You don't have to overcook it. Very, very simple stuff, right? So as you can see on the top line, if I explain it to you, this captures everything. It captures risk, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. But majority of the time, this is really just used for risk and issues, right? Majority of the time. So you've got it there. A risk has been captured. What is the status of that risk? Is it open? Is it closed? It's open because it's still active. It could still impact us, right? The only point we close it is if we have gone past it or it can no longer impact us. Okay? You've got a description of the risk. You got the consequences, right, of the risk. And then in this case here, what they've used is they've used the numbers 1 through to 5. The same way we have used, 3, 6, and 9. Same way we have used 1, 3, and 5. They've just used 1 through to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can expect, 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. Likewise, same with likelihood. And it now gives you a score, right? This has already been color coded, so you can see that it is amber, meaning it's medium. Yeah, just keeping it simple. This is the owner of the risk. That this is a mitigating action for the risk. Likewise, this is when the risk was raised, and this is when it was reviewed. In big programs of work, this risk log management or this risk management is one person's job. And that job is just to manage this document, right? So you need to know it, okay? Because if you're going in as a project support, project coordinator, they expect you to know all of this, right? And again, when I say know all of this, it's just knowing how to use this document, you know, because all you're needing to do is, oh, Ola, did you say there was a risk? Oh, sure. Can you give me the details about it? And you just log it. You understand? It's not like you are the one that has to fix it. No. At the least, that risk needs to be logged. Once it's logged, all you're doing is at the end of, you know, whatever the cycle you have in place, maybe you said, okay, every 2 weeks, we're going to review the risk. You understand? 2 weeks comes along. Okay, guys, where are we with the risk? You understand? Now, the question you're asking in those meetings is, okay, has this changed? Has the impact of this risk changed? Has the likelihood of this risk changed? And you manage it accordingly.
Isn't risk something that is not happening now? Issue is what's happening now, isn't it?
Issue is what's happening now. Risk is because we're moving. We're not standing still. And I say that because, okay, let me give you an example. You wake up in the morning. Yeah? What is the potential of rain? 50-50, right? So that's a risk. You're not saying it's going to rain, and you're not saying it's not going to rain. So you identify it's a risk. What do you do to mitigate that risk? Take umbrella, dress accordingly. You'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to wear my clothes, but I'll take my jacket alongside in case it gets cold, in case it does start to rain. Like you said, I've got my umbrella, so I'll use my umbrella as well. So all you're doing there is putting in mitigating actions to prevent you from getting wet, should it. You understand? Now, what I'm saying is, again, when you do get outside, you're not going to walk around blindly. You look up, like, this cloud is, you understand? By you doing that, that's you having that meeting to be able to say, okay, well, these clouds are getting closer. It's like, yeah, it's looking like it's going to rain. Therefore, you then take whatever mitigating actions you said to protect yourself. Be it, okay, it's going to rain, no, but I have somewhere that I'm going. I've got my umbrella. I'll be okay.
Because I feel like, you know, people can say, oh, this could happen, and it may not happen. But you're saying at the planning stage, are we planning, still planning or executing? This is
execution, yeah.
Okay. I'll say executing.
Let me stop there. This is execution. But if you are really wanting to do your job well, in your planning phase, you're already looking for the risk. You understand? So that planning phase, remember the whole point of the planning phase is to be able to help you get to that baseline. So think back to that blue line when we did a Google map search. So I want to go from London to Aberdeen. That blue line is your baseline, right? Majority of the time, your sat nav will tell you that so and so and so is happening. Okay? Your sat nav will tell you, oh, there's a road closure ahead. It's going to add X number of time to your journey. Now, if it did tell you that, what's going to happen? You will find yourself in that jam. Where you are going is likely no longer going to be any possible, right? But because it's already told you ahead, you've now seen that risk, obviously, which is further ahead is an issue. But you stopping and redirecting yourself is you mitigating against that. So it doesn't become an issue for you. You have identified the risk that there's a potential of getting stuck in traffic. Therefore, let me go a different route, right? So with a project, from what we're saying, again, as you're going through the project, a risk has been identified. You then review that risk regularly. So we don't just log it and say, we'll put the risk on the RAID log and we'll just be looking, you know. So it's like, that's what I think, it's like driving. This is execution. This is also your monitoring and control. So it's like you're driving, you're holding your steering wheel. As a good driver, even if you want to brake, you should be looking in your rear view mirror to make sure the car behind you is not so close. You understand? Before you make a decision. So we're all surrounded by risk. You know, if you're going downstairs now, you want to cross that road. If you see one of the Tesco trailers coming, you're already calculating the risk. So you know where you're going to stand. But if you tell yourself, oh, let me just quickly cross, whatever decision you come to, you would have done a calculation in your head that, let me quickly cross because these trailers are slow. They don't move like that. But if you now see a sports car, you understand?
So in a real life scenario,
Yeah.
we are producing this bottle.
Okay.
Someone says there's a risk
Mm-hmm.
that if you press too hard or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that has not happened.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know if I'm in the right.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
If you squeeze too hard,
Mm-hmm.
the cover
Will pop up.
open.
Yeah.
Now, so because we are at this stage, I'm guessing we've already produced the bottle, but not the
So
can yet.
let me stop you and kind of jump in and use what you're trying to say to answer your question. You have a small child. You give this small child Capri Sun. You know the Capri Sun drink, the one you pierce. What is the risk involved in giving that child that drink? That child is dressed up, ready to go to church, wearing his best white outfit, ready for church. That is a risk. How do you mitigate against that risk?
Beep or
Beep?
like a beep, like
Okay, a bib, yeah, a bib. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And put it in a cup for the child.
Put it in a cup, okay?
You give the child itself.
Or you give it yourself, yeah? So you can see you're already putting in mitigating actions. But one thing you are going to do, which nobody mentioned, you'll be watching that child. You understand? Unless you've put a fail-proof or safe-proof way where you know that that top is not going to get messed up, you're watching constantly. So that's what I mean about our monitoring our risk. You're watching constantly. Be like, because typically most kids, something like that you give to them, the first thing they do is they'll just squeeze it from the bottom. The drink is everywhere. So it now becomes an issue. So for us, yeah, it now becomes an issue. If it's now an issue, you now need to resolve it. You now need to find a fix for it. In this case, yeah, get back upstairs. Let's go and bath for you again. Take your clothes off. Find new clothes to wear. What is the impact of that? That's impacted your time. You've got somewhere to go. You can see the knock-on. Yeah. So again, in a project environment, once we've identified the risk, we don't just log it, we're monitoring it. We're seeing that, okay, how close are we to this risk? What is the potential of this risk happening? Yeah? Cool. So quickly, what I want you to do, just so to call it out, what you see here is, as you can see, is a multiplication, like the same way we have it on our board. Yeah? That's all it's done. It's just multiplied it. Yeah? So using these numbers, given that 1 is our lowest on both, right? You can see there, that means it's green. Green is nothing to worry about, we're good. Yeah? On the other hand, if it's a 5 and a 5, it's gone to red.
Can it change? Like
that's the whole point. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why we're doing that monitoring. That's why we're doing our RAID log review. That, where are we this week? You understand? Okay, the SME is the person that is managing the risk. How are you getting on? Have you managed to find mitigating actions? What does it look like? Are we still in danger? Are we in the all clear? You understand? But so this can change accordingly.
the review dates, because like you said, with the project, you can't keep, you want to plan, you can't keep changing the dates. Is that the same?
No, that's different. That's different. This is the review date of the risk. Again, the reason why you have it there is because you don't just log it and say I've logged it. And then what? No, we need to be reviewing it. So that reviewing it is ongoing. It's still, so it's like I said, it's like, think back to that driving, that blue line. and you're driving from one location to another, and it tells you that, okay, 100 miles ahead, there's been an accident. You're going to be monitoring that accident. If you have to listen into the radio to be like, have they cleared the road yet? Because you know what the impact is going to be. So it's either you continue on that path or you find a different way to help you mitigate the issue. All right, cool. So real quick, as you can see, this isn't complicated. I would like you to jump onto Excel or Google Sheets and just create this RAID log to begin with. Okay, I'll keep this on the screen. I just need you to create it. At most, this needs to be a formula. As you can see there, this formula is G6 times H6. Impact times likelihood, right? So that's what I would like.
It's cold though.
Cold?
Because I'm drinking this.
Ah, yes. So I'll just, what time are we on now? I'll just give you just about, say, 10 past. Shouldn't take that long, but 10 past to just create this. All right. Thank you.
So we should create the table.
Create this, yes. Yes, please. And
As a
then
group or separately?
separately, please.
Use a template, no?
Huh?
Should we use is there a template?
No, I want you to create your own. Thank you. Let me just put it. Yeah, to a very good extent, we need to be very comfortable with it. You know, honestly speaking, this is where people have lost jobs. You understand? Because you're at work, especially if you're working remote, or even if you're working face to face, they'll give you an Excel document, something that should take you 30 minutes. It's taking you the whole day. And you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll bring it in tomorrow. Nobody's stupid. They'll just be like, you can't have a CV of 5 years and not know how to do certain things. Nobody expects that you know it all, but you know, they expect that, okay, at a minimum, these are the skills or these are the things that you can do or you should be able to do. They expect that at a minimum. Okay. So we really, really have to be comfortable with that going forward, right? So as well as that, let me see what else we want to just cover real quickly. I would still want you guys to build out your where is my screen?
I shared this with you. Is it a plan?
Okay, on Smart Sheets, yeah. I'll check it out.
Oh, you want to say build up this risk?
No, yeah, I was talking about risk. Yeah, I was talking about risk. Just to continue on about risk, obviously there are different types of risk. You know, it's not just resource or such. There could be strategic risk, there's financial risk, operational. You need to be aware of all of this. So that's why at the start of the project, the more you know, the better.
Well, which one is strategic risk?
Just any strategy that could put the project at risk. You know, same with financial risk, operational risk. Every day you step out, you're surrounded by risk. You know, there's a risk somebody could bump into you and, you know, hit your shoulder. There's a risk a car could jump into you. There's a risk you could get into, and there's so many risks. So it's not like, oh, this is the only risk. There's a risk it could rain and you could get wet on the way home, whatever. You know.
So strategic risk is like, for example, you're saying I'm crossing the road. I'm thinking, what strategy?
No. I'm talking about business. When I'm talking about strategy, I'm talking about business. Yeah. No, but that strategy risk does not relate to the personal example. Yeah. I'm just trying to make relevance.
Yes, that's the relevance I'm trying to understand this strategic risk.
Okay, so as a person, considering, let's assume that you are a project as a person, right? The strategies you want to take, they would all have risk associated to them. You know? All right. Environmental, legal, reputational, compliance. So it's everywhere and anyhow. It's just nonstop. You can't get away from it. So that's why it's important that we actually are able to manage it. We've already covered this about the risk assessment. So that's looking at the likelihood and the impacts of that risk. Again, when you have high risk, those are the risks that you will now prioritize your attention and your energy on. Does that make sense? Let me find you another quick document because I love you guys so much. Did you just email to me? You're not serious.
What did you do?
I've got eyes on the side, don't worry. So let me find this document. Project log. 100 cell document. So let me put this up. Okay. So I know we talked about this before, so I'll just show you this real quickly while I look for another document. So what you see here is a change form. So this is from a previous project. This was actually at Lookers. So this is the change form. You can see the questions it's asking there, right? Or an overview of the reason for the change, expected frequency, this change will be repeated. So is it a one-off? Is it something that needs to be happening constantly or, every now and again as an example? So you can just review that. Let me find this other document real quickly. Download, where is it? No. This was managing the sites. All the locations that they had. So managing the IT in the locations.
Where they sell their cars.
Yes, the showrooms, the dealerships. Yeah. So that's what we did. So we managed the infrastructure, the IT infrastructure of the dealership. Yeah. UK. Yeah. I mean, they had about 200 plus sites at the time. So basically managing the setup of those, well, the running of it and the setup for the new ones. So one of the new ones I did, I remember, was Jaguar Land Rover in Glasgow. So like I think it was maybe once or twice a month, I would go to Glasgow, go and check out the site, see the progress. And I was there from, initiation, which is like them doing the foundation up until they raise the building, everything.
It's not, so infrastructure, sorry. Okay.
Yes, infrastructure.
I thought it was IT.
IT infrastructure.
IT infrastructure.
Yes.
And you say raising the building.
Yeah, because you have to be involved from the start.
Okay, so you know the cablings.
Yeah, exactly. So question is, so for example, now the M&E guys, mechanical and engineering, they need to draw up, where the cabling is going to go, what plug is going to go where, even down to the offices within the place. Okay, where's the desk going to go? All right, is there a plug that we can connect to the desk, internet cable, all those kind of stuff, Wi-Fi, everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know. No, I didn't. I knew I wasn't going to be there for long. I didn't want to commit to such. No, I know. Trust, I was only there for like 9 months in total.
Shorter than me.
Yeah. So.
Just too much.
All right. So this here, I'll just run through a few things. So this here, the decision log. Okay. So this is literally off the back of your RAID log, right? So like what I told you, a good PM would do a RAID log, a great PM would have a RAID log. So for me, there's no point in having separate documents. Just put them all in one Excel and have different tabs. So this is why you need to know how to use Excel.
So one tab will be for
exactly. Yes, yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. But the one you saw before was one tab for everything. So you would just select which one it is. I'm selecting it's a risk. Yeah. So it just depends. All right. So this one, as an example, this covers off meetings and decisions that have been taking place. Okay. So if you read the headers, where was the decision made? When was it made? Discussion point, reference around it. What was the decision? The reasons behind it. Who made the decision? Does it override any previous decision? Right? One thing you have to get good at is creating documents like this. And I don't want to see any eyes because this is basic, very simple. You can create this in literally 2 minutes, this document. All they've done is put the headers, put the colors behind it, and put a table on it.
It's easy. There's no formula.
Exactly. There's no. No. But don't get me wrong. I'll be very fair with you. Some places you go to, like you said, they already have these documents, but it's useless to you if you don't know how to use it. And why I make you create one yourself is so that you know what to do, because they could ask you in an interview that, oh, how do you create a RAID log? And you can't just say, oh, they'll have it already. I just use no. You should be able to confidently say, oh, this is how I create a RAID log. I do this, and this is what goes into a RAID log.
You need to really ask that.
They can. Because the whole point is to test your knowledge. Yes. Okay. Well, first of all, I'll create it on Excel, first and foremost, just keeping it simple. Or Google Docs, yes. And these are the headers that I put in my RAID log. So you guys have all created a RAID log now. You know the headers, you have put it to your RAID log. I've put into it the owner, who identified the risk, who's the owner of the risk, what's the probability, what's the likelihood. I put a score to it. I put a mitigated action to it. I put the date it was raised. I put when it was reviewed, the last time it was reviewed. I put the next time it's going to be reviewed. Again, if it's your document, you should be able to manage it anyhow and talk confidently about it.
Sorry, leave that now.
No.
This decision, is this to do with based on the risk has been raised? Or
No, this is decisions. Yeah. Because again, things need to be documented. If we have a conversation now and we make a decision and you don't document it, 2 weeks down the line, I can tell you I never discussed that with you. But I don't know what you're talking about.
How do you then know what you've numbered it that this decision was for the specific thing?
If you read the document, you'll see that that's why they've set it out like that. So you follow the headers. The headers tells you where was the decision made, when, what is the discussion point, the reference point to it, what is the actual decision, reasons for it, who made the decision, does it override any other previous decisions that was made already?
And if it's a yes?
Yeah, well, you need to take this, you need to take action. Yeah. It's your document. You can make it however. You understand? But the whole point is there needs to be, so yes, a decision was made last week. This week, another decision overrides that decision. What do we do? You're not just writing it for fun. There's got to be an action. So, oh, guys, I know we said we were going to send the team to Scotland, but that decision has been overridden. We're no longer sending you to Scotland. We're now sending you to London. You don't just document it. There needs to be something to follow. So what does that mean? Oh, we now change the plans. As an example. Yeah?
This is what decision that has been made, not to be made, right?
Decision that has been made. Yes. ANS is the client that they were working with. Yeah. Yeah. Again, you are the owner of the document, so you can make the document however, right? So running through this real quickly, let me get rid of this. Yeah. So likewise, you've got this here, which is your project plan on Excel. Now, I would never say do a project plan on Excel because that's not really what it's built for. And there are tools that do that a lot better, which you've already used, which is Smart Sheets as an example. Obviously, if you follow it there, you've got your task, milestones, start date, end date, the resources, status of it, and you see it here on the Gantt chart. And all this is just formula. All of this is just formula, but I wouldn't say use Excel for project planning. I don't condone such. Yeah. Get rid of this. Come on.
With this Excel now, can you pull up reports from it?
No, really, no. That's not what it's for. That's not what it's for. No. This is just a document plan. So again, just knowing, even if you don't know it, I can ask you guys now, okay, create me a document that tracks what I do every hour of the day. Right? You should be able to do that. Because in your head, you should think, okay, sure, I need a table. Of course, it's going to have to be a table that tracks everything that I do every hour of the day. All right, so maybe I'll create a column, hours going down, activity, and then maybe a selection or whatever. So it's just being able to, think about what type of document you want to create. Let me see, there shouldn't be anything in here. That's fine. So let me close this one off. There's some other ones I had open. This is similar. All right, so yeah, this is another decision log again. Similar thing, realistically. If I come here, now, RACI matrix. Anyone heard of a RACI matrix? RACI. What does it stand for? RACI matrix stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and then informed. Accountable, consulted, and informed. That is RACI matrix. Okay. This is for management of not just documents, but processes and at times deliverables, tasks, things like that. Okay. So if you look at this example, what you'll see, if I show you the template to begin with, this is the template here. What they are doing here is they're tracking deliverables, and these are the deliverables on the side that I've highlighted. So they're tracking the business case, impact assessment, DPIA, requirements, technical design, project. So this can be whatever you are tracking, anything at all, whatsoever, right? Key thing to pay attention to is this section here, right? First of all, it tells you this is a project team. All of these are roles within the projects. Yeah. So this is a sponsor. Put the name of the sponsor. The PM. Put the name of the PM. Right. The BA. So on, so on, so on. Right. Now, key thing to pay attention to is this section here that we filled out. So to make it clear, we're saying, if you follow this top line, we're saying a business case, gate 1 and 2. The sponsor is accountable for that. Why do we know? Because we've got an A here that tells us the sponsor is, that's what that A stands for, where you see that A. This R here tells me what? That the PM is what? Responsible for it, right? Likewise, the SME is also responsible, and there's a second SME in this case that should be informed. Yeah? And that's all this is telling us. Yes, you can already see somebody can wear more than one hat, i.e. they can have more than one role. So in this case here, if you see this, we're saying for the impact assessment, the BA is responsible as well as accountable. Okay. So using a real life example up here, you can see all the names, right? You see the names of the stakeholders, their roles, etc. So it's easy to say that, okay, for technical design, the sponsor, Ian Rowlands, needs to be informed. Steve Taylor needs to be informed, who's the PM. The BA needs to be consulted. The technical design, who is responsible? You can see here, it's the responsible person is Nadeem, and he's also the accountable person, right? Then consulted should be Charlotte. Informed is Ian. Informed again is Carson, right? Then you've got here other parties if required. So this is a document that everybody gets this. Yeah, everybody gets this. Everybody should be able to see that. So that what you don't want is all this case of he said, she said. It's not my job. No, 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 no. Please go back to the racing matrix and you'll see clearly whose job is what and who's responsible for doing what.
Everyone that is involved in the project.
Everyone that is involved in the project, yes. Yes, everyone that is involved in the project. Hassan, are you following? Any questions? Yes.
I'm following, sir. Following.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I know you said you should concentrate on those ones.
Okay.
But you put approval, does anything need to be approved?
Mm-hmm. So that's if so. In this case, these are documents. Yeah. Call them documents, call them deliverables. What worst case or whatever however you term them, there are things that need to be done. Right. So all this is telling us is, does it need to go for CAB approval? Right. Or in more so, basically, we're saying if you follow all this process, it goes to CAB and this is the status. So CAB would need to approve on it, or they have approved. CAB is Change Advisory Board. Yeah. Okay. Good. So what else do I have here? I think that is all I have for this one.
Please approve change.
Yes. Well, anything along those lines, either document. So again, to maintain the governance, the standards, documents that you produced need to go to relevant parties for approval. So PMO might have to look at the document and say, no, that doesn't meet the quality. You've missed out some things. Take it back, do it again. Okay. So I don't want to get into the other parts just yet, so I'll just keep going on with this. So out of scope, we were talking earlier about MVP, minimum viable products. And you can see here are a list of requirements. Okay. Here are a list of requirements. And if you follow it through, decisions have been made about them. So you can see here out of scope. The ones that are in scope, you can see there's a green around them. And then again, they said, what phase is this going to be in? So you can see here, phase 1, right? And if you could, and obviously it give you a key here. So again, when you're producing documents, you should have a key. I obviously knowing this, I'm be like, oh, I know what this is already, but not expecting that your audience would know, what you're trying to say, put a key in, right? So that's what that key tells us. This color is in scope. This is TBC, right? So again, this is something that easily can be created.
Is this for your own sort of view or for you to share again?
It's for sharing, it's for management of the projects. Because you can't have everything in your head. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, I remember we said, no, document it. I remember we said we're going to do this and then we're going to do, no, document it. So this could have come out from a series of meetings or whatever, but at least it's documented. So we can have responsible people take ownership. So we know what we're doing rather than pointing fingers and saying, he said, she said. Yeah. Cool. So let me shut this one down. I think don't save. I think that should be it. I'll leave this one out for now. This is UAT. Cool. Fantastico. Excuse me. All right. Any other questions? No,
For these documents.
it's you have to, but there's nothing to it.
This is why during trial tech, those people were jumping and they want to be BA.
Mm.
BA, they want a lot of documentation.
There's actually more documents in BA than there is in PM. No, as BA, there's more documentation.
In my the work that I did, my BA did not no documentation. When I actually had to force him to do what's it called, an ASIS to be. From my knowledge with TriTech, I was like, this is not it.
Yeah, but look, that's the whole point. Nobody knows it all. Like, to be fair to the person, he could have just done some boot camp and swindled his way into the job. But that's the people will say things. But at the end of the day, if you're not performing, yeah, or, or you're not exactly, if you're not performing or you're not following the right people, they'll show you the door. That's the truth of it. Okay, fantastical. All right, I think we'll pause there for today, realistically. So that's what, 15 minutes back. If there are no questions.
Your screen is small.
My phone, my watch, tap it. It tells you the weather. Tells you the weather. Well, no, I'll check it before we get off now, before we leave. But homework wise, what I will do is I'll be sending you some instructions.
Will that be via WhatsApp or where is your this is going to be coming from? WhatsApp?
You'll get a WhatsApp message, it's fine.
Or I don't mind, I just want to know.
No, WhatsApp, yeah. For just ease of use. Right now, while you're in training, yes, you get it on WhatsApp, and it will just be instructions on the type of documents I would want you to create on Excel. When you have done it, just share that with me. Or actually, no, you can present it on Tuesday. Yeah, that's all I need.
Can we look at the issue we had with doing our Zoom?
Yes. Okay, let me go to my Gmail, find your invitation.
Yeah.
Just check your.
Looking at my screen, my computer screen. Could you see anything? Could you see my screen properly?
Yeah.
Oh, blur. Anytime I'm using this laptop, it's all blurry.
Maybe change your brightness. Find this thing.
Finally double check your email address again.
Yeah, sure. It's
Yeah.
sorry. It's Project Career UK. Project Career UK at gmail.com. Sorry, that's why I didn't come through.
Oh yeah, it's come up properly.
Double check on the right sheet.
The one you got, you paying for it.
Yeah. Well, right now I don't think you necessarily need to pay as such.
I'm just thinking the version we've got is maybe different.
No. It's just 30 days. Don't get me wrong, you have to play around with it a bit, but you should still do what it needs to do. So if I come here, so there you go. So open in Smartsheet.
In your previous workplaces, you smash it a lot?
Some places, I'll tell you. So Smartsheet is not new, but is a new kid on the block. And I've gone into interviews and I've said, oh, I use Smartsheets, and they will literally tell you, we've just started using that. So you now coming in is like, this guy knows it already. Oh.
it's a benefit to you. But last, we'll always Google it. All right, so this is the one you've done. Fantastic. So let's look at this. So you said something wasn't changing the
Yes.
date, the days.
And then
Okay, so for example, if I said this activity starts on the 24th, and then I now say 6 days. Okay, so it should be, yeah, it should be auto-calculated. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. So let's
so we
see.
wanted to do it, or we're like, if we manually do this and then you come back and say, actually.
No.
yeah.
It shouldn't be manual. It should automatically calculate it itself. So for some reason I can see, I don't want to think that's the case, that it's a free one. It shouldn't be because this is locked. This edit columns is locked. You understand? So you can't actually do it, but it shouldn't really be because of that. It should auto. So I said it on the, it said 6 days. So even that should be changing. So it may just be, let me remove these. You don't need these ones right now. It may just be that it's because it's a free one, and that is it's not even allowing you to delete the column. Yeah, that's poor of them. Yeah, you can't even insert columns.
I did though. I inserted.
Oh, actually, maybe because I'm just a guest, so to speak. Yeah, that's probably why. But let me see. Yeah. Second. Yes. Okay, so let me go back to here. Just spawn one up. I don't know why it give me this basic one. So just give me 1 second. So from a reporting perspective, you can see that this actually helps you auto-generate your reports. If I go here, okay, so using this as an example, let's say I have a task that starts on this date, and I say it is 7 days task. You know, why isn't it auto-calculating? It really should. I'm not sure why it's not wanting to do it. But no, it's not. It's not you guys. Let me go back to create another grid view, another project. Okay, so let me say this. Just say yes, and then okay, say task to complete, start date, end date. So even with that data there, if I just press 10, wow.
See, this is the new kid on the block.
Yeah, you know. So yes, you're right. It should automatically change. Why it's not doing it, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, so even it says it here. Duration is calculated based on start and end date of the task, but it's not actually wanting to do that. 24th said, yeah, it should automatically do that. So no, it's not your fault as such. But I will look into it. I'll raise a ticket with them. Yeah, cool. Yes, I will. It'll just be to create these documents. Okay. I think she's just walking back now. Okay, fine. I'll pick this up with them. Cool.
Are you Skyping? Skyping.
Mama, what's Skyping? Hey? I'm not. What did you say? What did you say?
Why are you skiving?
I don't know.
I'm saying work.
Very important. Number one, if anybody calls me, I won't pick. My mom. I won't
But
pick.
one stakeholder.
See, I need to see shareholder, stakeholder thing. just-
Yeah,
I
this
get
is-
it, it's stuck in my.
Yeah.
We know what it is, just when I'm saying it, I just get.
Yeah, no, I mean, stakeholder is just based on interest. Shareholder is financial.
Fine.
Yes, yes, yes.
She's the two of them, one of their books.
Exactly. Cool. Okay, so we rounded up. We looked at it. I've raised the ticket. I've looked at it. It's not auto calculating. I don't know why, but I've with them. Yeah. So I'll look into what they've said. Yeah. So it's not your fault. Going forward, you'll be getting messages from me with tasks to create documents on Excel. All right. And I would need that to be presented on Tuesday. So you'll get that later today.
Huh?
Why are you guys going quiet?
On Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's just
yeah.
like tomorrow.
Yes, now, because today is gone.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a document you can create in 10 minutes. So
Okay. So that's
yeah, of course. Of course.
presentation.
No, not a presentation, it's just a document. That's all.
Okay, we'll send it to you back.
Well, you share it and present it on Tuesday.
Like those ones that you always present in
Yes.
class. And they'll be there. People that
It's
we
too
don't
soon
know.
for us now.
It's too soon now. We don't even know these people. So if it's not saying give bridge, at least let's do one presentation with you first. Then you not be like, okay,
It's
so that you
going
know
to
if you
the-
are prepared for the
You will
work.
be prepared.
Yeah, I'm if it's that one, I'm traveling.
You're not traveling anywhere.
It's a letter, it's a passport.
The train is not working. You're not traveling. All right. Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. If there are no questions, I will let you all go home and I'll see you all on Tuesday. Okay, steps. Let's get the numbers in. Let's get the numbers in. Let's have a look. Okay, independent adjudicator. If you kindly can. Let me show you where I'm up to.
Where do you want to sit? So, and please let me sit too. I don't trust Sonia.
Why? You're party now.
Ah,
Where is it? There you
So I won.
go.
let me see. Can
I'm
you?
always winning.
How
I'm a
come you
winner.
can't hear your voice now? What
I'm
is
a
just
winner.
laughing?
Okay.
Confirm
now. Confirm.
Number.
Oh,
So,
it's okay. It's 10,908.
out for where to where? Oh, OJ, can you see please?
8,913.
He didn't change his numbers.
Oh, you literally by
No,
13.
yeah. Oh, well, money change.
So I'm the closest, so I won.
You are the closest, yes.
I'm 8,000 now. Okay.
Upon all the begging,
And I
we
was
beg you.
9,500 though.
That's where you started initially, yes.
See,
Yeah.
Actually, who crossed out my 9,500?
it's free
Because
now.
you changed it. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Hassan, thank you. We'll talk to you all again. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.